triple kill, but Son of Finn, he'll deny the plant. He sees 2 more kills. Oh my god! Son of Finn will find more!
Where's Miracle? He's trying to come upstairs, but Crafty will get the ace. He'll get the plant. He'll do it all.
Device, misses shots. He's gonna have to go for the
he pushes on
through. Dylan is better.
Round 2, and there's another as Tyrant is finished off, and they all line up for Bone.
Hello everyone, and Max is actually here. I thought I was gonna have to start solo, but Max is actually here in time, so shout out to the great Keglanek. But hello everyone, we're back. We're in another rescheduled game. Oh wait, no, we are normally. I thought it was Wednesday. I'm an idiot. It's still Tuesday,
my week's been
so
thrown
this
off too.
is still a rescheduled game. It's No Plants versus Nemesis. We've only got one game today, again because it's a reschedule, and this one should be interesting. No Plants are a roster who have not been together for nearly as long as a lot of the other teams in this, like, you know, Neo, Aerial Rise, Gatekeepers, Synthetic, people like that. And Nemesis are a brand new christened Challenger League roster. So we'll see how they do up against No Plants. Nemesis unfortunately fell 0-2 to Wichita Wolves, another brand new squad as well. So I'm hoping we see a better showing from them this game.
Oh, but look at the standings here. Aerial Arise, to the surprise of probably nobody, very high up in the brackets right now. But Honor also doing pretty well in SCS as well, going 8 points, and Aerial Rise themselves at 7. It's a really good streak that they have so far. Crow, hello? Well, that's okay. He's having a bit of a moment right now. Crow thinks I'm muted in TeamSpeak, but the fact is that from CCS, I think he muted me. But with that being said and done, we're going to be going through the standings as well. Nemesis haven't been having that great of a time. They're at 0 points right now. They have played 2 maps. We did see them on the 4th and didn't quite go the way they had hoped. But with that being said, though, I think this is going to be an interesting matchup between themselves and No Plants. You know, early prediction, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes either way. Crow realizes that he muted me instead, and so we're going to get that sorted shortly. Welcome back. I thought you were messing with me the whole time.
Dude.
Up until the very last minute, he's like, is Max here? Is Max here?
I thought
I'm like, Ferme, I don't like this. This is not a fun joke.
I thought I was messing with myself. I completely forgot that I had you muted on TeamSpeak. So, dude, you stopped talking, and I was like...
There was a very uncomfortable silence.
I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we have it sorted now and not in the middle of the game. But Crow, tell me what you think about these two teams. I know we had some interesting opinions about them in the pre-show here, but No Plants, they've already played a few games in the season and they've had some interesting results.
Yeah, so last time we saw No Plants actually take a map off of D2E, our previous season champions, and No Plants consists of Junior, Dunkey, Callie, Blanky, and GXD. GXD and Junior definitely being the 2 most notable names on this roster, with Callie even having, I believe, Challenger League experience, either CL or like up in like the USN main broadcast is the extent of his competitive tenure. So he is a very experienced player. He's been around for a while. Meanwhile, Dunkey and Blanky are newer faces, at least to me. On the side of Nemesis, we've got Boji, Red, Joe, Box, and Bales. Boji having played last season of CL with Bracket Blessed. Box being a player in T3 that he's been around forever. He was even on Fernie's Tacos. So, you know, that just speaks to how long he's been around. And Red, fun fact, Red X actually played Keg, do you remember the old Carnage Gaming roster that later became known as Team Ion and Bonk?
Oh, yes, I do.
Right after Frozen left, and I think right after Frozen, Lava left as well. One of the other players left. Red X was actually on that team right before Bonk disbanded. So he has also been around for a long time. So we have plenty of tenured players in this match, almost as much as we have in the others. as you can see by the our staff poll as well as the community poll, an overwhelming majority of people think that it's going to be a No Plants victory. I almost said a bad word. Indecisive. So I'm yet again going to go with a tie. You know what we got? We got Connor. Connor with a big 17%. I have a higher percentage than Connor. How the hell did that happen? Man, Connor and Stick are down bad, huh?
Do I really have the highest? Oh no, Jay's Wills has the highest.
You
I'm
and,
the second highest?
yeah, you and Jay's Wills are doing really well. But Connor thinks it's going to be a Nemesis 2-0. So far, what we've seen from Nemesis, from not only the season, but the qualifier as well, hasn't really been too convincing. Especially since they fell 0-2 to Wichita Wolves, a brand new team. And, I mean, if they had lost that game to Aggro, we wouldn't even be seeing them in the season right now.
Yeah, the way that we saw No Plans get into the league was really interesting. Actually, both teams, frankly, getting to the league were really interesting circumstances here. But I think you're right. I think we're a little too early into the season to see really how these predictions are going to go. I do think it could be a 50-50 depending on how things are. But there's just so many extraneous factors right now between the two maps that we're going to see that it very well could be a plant. But really just being on the pendulum swing of either being a 2-0 from either side is a huge possibility tonight.
And, well, hopefully it's a fast 2-0, or a fast couple maps. We have Villa and Club. Villa's definitely an interesting one still. There's still a lot of really cool stuff you can do with Villa. I mean, hell, the basement isn't even fully utilized yet, and the map's been out for three years? Something like that? I think 3 years.
June 2018.
Yeah, almost 3 years. 2.5 years.
Wow.
Actually closer to 3 years than 2.5. And Clubhouse, though, Clubhouse has gotten pretty linear. It's almost like you know how they're like checkers and tic-tac-toe, like they're like solved games. I feel like Clubhouse kind of falls into that category where there is a way to play Clubhouse, not a lot of room for improvement. We have seen teams try to shake things up, like with the Aruni. Like a lot of times, you'll see on a gym defense, like when they go in and do that cache extension, they'll have an Aruni on the garage window, the red doorway, and the Logi rotate, I think, are the three spots that we've seen two different teams utilize with her. So it would definitely be cool if No Plants and Nemesis try to bring that out, because again, that's kind of new. But otherwise, Clubhouse is pretty much figured out.
I just can't wait for either a remake a rework, if you will, of Clubhouse, hopefully coming down the line. It's already been remade once, and I feel like a lot of people watching SCS now may have not been around in Siege at the time when the walkway, the stairs going up to the rafters of Garage were a ladder. So it's been already hugely revamped once, but I really wanted to see it again because it's been a little stale now. Both teams have their decisive ways of wanting to play, and I just want to see something new. But we're going to be starting off on Villa, where things are still a little bit more fresh after 3 years. And Crow, we talked about this in the pre-show. What do you think is going to come out first for the bands?
Thatcher.
Oh, wow.
Plain and simple. Probably. Yeah, I know, right? Crazy. Insane. Nemesis have the first ban, and there you go. I'm like a mind reader. Thatcher's the first one gone. Now, concerning the second ban, it can be a little bit more flexible. Tends to be one of the ranged hard breachers, either the Ace or the Hibana. And it's going to be the Ace. So Hibana left up. So
50%.
Usually, right, you take the Ace out of the equation because, well, one, better gun, smoke grenades. But his breaches tend to be a lot harder to deny with electro claw tricking, impact tricking, stuff with that. And Hibana is a little bit easier to take care of, although it takes, she can waste your impacts if need be. Mira's the first defensive ban. I mean, it's Mira. What else is there to say? Maestro's interesting, though. Maestro is a very good ban, but not one that we often see just because teams love bringing the Maestro. You get the 81, you get the Evil Eyes and stuff like that. So banning out the Maestro is definitely pretty cool. You're not going to have those bubbles on site, but you do still leave up the likes of Wamai, the likes of Goyo, and all the operators like that. So AVG is definitely going to be cool without Maestro, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think when No Plans played up against Down to Earth last week, they actually did ban out Maestro as well. And that was a really interesting way of seeing how they could pretty much falter around D2E, really relying on Maestro at times here. But without it present, they can bring more things like IQ and have more gadgets to worry about.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point, right? Banning the Maestro because of how like not really lax, but how the utility meta has been a little bit alleviated. Like you said, it brings room to bring or it brings room for flexibility. So you can bring things like, IQ or even Monty if they decided to stick it. You don't really need the double up of the Ashes Oath anymore, although you do have to deal with all three of the Malusi Banshees and the Shield of the Smoke. So you better hope that the 3 breaching rounds of the Ash and the 2 nades from the Sledge are on point and able to clear all 4 of those indestructible gadgets on the side of Nemesis. But it shouldn't be all too hard, especially with the recent Jaeger and Momine nerfs. So again, starting off on AVG, no Maestro's a little bit cool, but we still have the Malusi gadget, which can, of course, still provide intel. Still bulletproof, as we already touched on. Usually you have one, in study, right where Boji's placing it. Now, that's a little bit of an odd spot, like right in the middle. I wonder if they're going to be opening one of the... Okay, so this is why. A lot of teams will open up the bottom of that aviator wall that you can see our observer highlighting right there. That Banshee
nasty.
being right in the middle of the room forces the attackers to have to walk in and clear it and be exposed to those footholes, or just send a well-placed nade or Ash charge in. Either way, it wastes some utility and it makes the attackers a little bit more nervous about pushing into study like that.
Luckily, though, they don't have to worry about that through study just yet. They're going to be looking towards Master Bedroom to go for this initial push. We've been seeing this a lot from No Plans as well in the past, going for mostly a study-centric push, and while sometimes they have, Master-centric, and while sometimes they have gone for study, it's been predominantly from this northern edge of the map. But we don't really see a huge roam presence really focused on it. We do see Box from below having potentially his Nitro in hand, but he's going to be using mostly that intel to look and see where that early push is going to come from. As meanwhile, No Plans, they have Astro and Statuary control already. They're able to push up more, and they have to worry about 90.
Yeah, 90 is going to be a big point of contention. Who's playing there right now? Okay, it's Joe is... Okay, he's playing sort of in 90. He's more playing to hold 90 for as long as possible. Yeah, it's a retreat tactic. He's going to peel away as soon as he feels some pressure, because, of course, you don't want to stay there for too long and lose your smoke. I believe that was a pre-play C4 from Box. Either way, it's going to miss, not be able to deal any damage to No Plants at all, and the shield goes down that was covering the smoke. So Joe will have to fall back over inside of Bar and play the standard smoke position you normally see inside of Aviator. And it's pretty quick work so far from No Plants. They've taken control very swiftly and been able to get the first pick fairly early in the round. And look who that first pick is on. It's on the Wamai. All his magnets haven't been generated just yet, and they'll go down with him.
Second C4 is going to go down. They'll find another one. It's going to be a 4v4 now. One each body gone, but the IQ has been lost. Still a lot of that utility on the sites itself, and including that Banshee we mentioned, 2 inside studies still alive. Could be huge without the IQ present. They have to back into it. And like you said, that Ash charges could be valuable now, but it looks like Ash might be on a different part of the map. Skirmishes all throughout, though. Junior's going to find themselves DBNO and not able to walk anymore, Crow. But now losing all this utility, losing out on intel as well, you have to rely on just pretty much running and gunning into the site and hoping for the best.
Yeah, and like you said, like you touched on, the Hibana is the one over here with the Malusi Banshee. So if she pushes in, there's no way for her to deal with it. But that's a great frag from Blanky, taking out Boji, the player who originally had downed that Ash. And that means Junior will be recovered. So Ash is back up, sure low on HP, but it gives you that extra man to be able to play with, and basically another opportunity to frag her out. Lake is going to try and go in as the designated planter as Box and Callie trade some damage over by the hallway. Junior with great cover fells Joe. The smoke, I guess, either out of gas canisters or opted not to use it. Another kill from Junior, a 3K from him as Blanky off the plant fells Red X. No Plants take the first round.
That was a really, really, scary beginning for No Plant's side. They had to take a lot of chances. They had to really push into the site, almost pretty much in a gigantic, really, flattened out pinch, almost. 1 inside study, 2 inside of, pushing in zombie, and they had to do it pretty much by themselves. So many defenders on the site, they had to get that plant into the ground, but they won the gunfights.
Yeah, the sheer speed at which No Plants was able to take everything was, in my mind, the really big difference maker there. So, right, because they had already cleared 90 in a minute and a half, and immediately following that, Junior was able to get the first pick. That opened things up for his team. And sure, he went down afterwards, and after one of his teammates, I think it was Donkey, was traded back by Boji. But the fact that the fact that No Plants had taken all that control so quickly, the Nomad of Blanky had time to go all the way around, pick Junior up, and in picking Junior up, got another frag for himself. And No Plants were just set up so well that everywhere Nemesis tried to push back, they were covered. I'm not quite sure what Joe had used his gas canisters on, or why he opted not to use them if he had them, because that would have been an easy plant denial. Of course, just throw it on the other side of the vault door, because the time commitment from the Nomad did put the round timer pretty low, so that smoke could have definitely been useful. So that was definitely odd by Nemesis, but it was a really good lockout from No Plants, nevertheless.
And on paper, you would think Nemesis with their defense would have been really cool too, right? They made the brunt of their attacks on the offense be the nitro cells from below, and yet they were tanked completely from No Plants. They've been going through the same exact motions again, looking to go towards trophy from Master Bedroom yet again. But look at Boji down below. Someone's going to spot him out. But not going to be a whole lot of kills in the beginning. In fact, they're not going to go for Master. They're going to be taking a second floor roam clear, and Bales is in a really tough spot in landing and could potentially catch out Junior if all goes well.
Yeah, moving through Memo pretty much by himself. If he does go down to this player on the red stairs that you highlighted, there's really no refrag potential at all. But Junior does have a pretty nice angle. If the Cade tries to rotate back over towards concrete and into statuary, he's likely a dead man thanks to that. But he's just going to hold firm for now. You've got the Jaeger there too, looking through a different set of floor holes, but Junior evades the eyes from above, at least for now. A little bit slower from No Plants, as this downstairs control is not nearly as important as they would like it to be, especially with how many players they have down there. Junior takes some pot shots over towards the Jaeger's position. That causes Red to fall back just a little bit, but this is the two players that we have to keep our eyes out for. Box and Boji, double Bs downstairs in the basement. They'll be playing for the late flank once No Plants try to position themselves and take from upstairs.
This is a really interesting, almost kind of sandwich that we saw. Nemesis were on the top and third most floor, and No Plants were pretty much on the second one to fend for themselves. They do rotate, make their way into study bedroom, but it looks like the Banshee's going to give the audio cues that one's going to be inside. It's going to be up to this 1v2 now. See if it goes in Joe's favor. The SMG-11's able to DB an 0-1, but what about the other one? Gas Canister is going to confirm the kill, able to clean up the entire kill feed in the favor of Nemesis, but No Plants have found themselves in this position before. Sure, it was a 4v4, but they found themselves in this huge against wall with a minute left, and they still found the round. But now it being a 5v2, now a 5v1, seems very unlikely as the Nemesis are able to find it flawlessly.
Wow. Very well done by Nemesis. No Plant spending a lot of time on the downstairs, not really accomplishing anything. No first pick. They didn't flush out any key anchor positions like where the Jaeger was sitting or like Astro. Yeah, like you said, they pushed with no intel. So first obstacle was the Banshee in bathroom. Callie is about to nade it, and then Junior's like, no, I got this. As Junior shoots it, Joe is just like, okay, I'm going to catch you with your pants down, downs her off, and smokes her out. So that's first pick going the way of Nemesis. Shortly thereafter, Boji swings one. I'm not sure where Boji got that kill onto. I think it was Junior. No. Junior got killed by the smoke. I don't remember who he killed. So you got a two-man advantage now going the way of Nemesis. Did we see any drones from No Plants after that? I don't think so.
I feel like we didn't. No, I don't think so. In fact, early on, we didn't see a lot of drones either. The only one that was really apparent was the Malusi able to find the drone in the beginning, but no capitalization came off of it from No Plants.
Yeah, and so we saw the Nomad try to move through Master Doorway, only to get caught out by the Jaeger holding right by the statue. So really easy pick there. And that's all we saw is, the other two players who I presume we're both trying to double push bathroom again through a bottleneck with no info and no advantage whatsoever, got taken out with relative ease by the Malusi. So that was definitely very disjointed by No Plants. A whole lot of nothing and then a whole lot of failure, basically, was kind of how you kind of sum up that round.
I mean, I kind of feel like we saw that in round one too, right? They kind of waited their time. They waited a while to go into Aviator in the first round, but then eventually they collapsed at the very last second and they found all the gunfights they needed. I think they tried to press their luck a little bit more on Trophy, and it was not the right site to do that.
I also think the reason why it works so well with AVG is having that 90 control, like having the 90 study pinch is way more important than just like clearing downstairs and then moving everyone up to master.
True. That takes a lot more coordination.
Yeah.
But look at coordination here, right? Going into Astro, finding the rotate here, goes for the pre-fire. They're not going to be able to find the Goyo doing that. They should have waited a little bit longer, but Junior has a power position inside bathroom. Last time around, we did see Joe push up there inside of Astro and find Junior in that same position, but no, completely different site this time, and the battlefield urges on early inside of a place far away from no plans probably expected. Yeah, now everyone's going to get out of there. Why take the fight when you have to?
Yeah, so this heavy roam that Nemesis had set up, because again, this is where no plants pushed from last time, so they're like, hey, let's stop them early. They're immediately like, nope, not dealing with it. Might as well play our lives.
I'm going back to site.
I guess they waste a minute 20, so it's not for nothing, but they do dedicate a hell of a lot of utility over there that's now going to remain unused. Junior is looking for a cutoff, but unfortunately for him, those players are long gone. They're already rotated back, with the exception of one below. I think it's, okay, it's Bales on the Goyo. Okay, Boji's there as well. So Bales and
Nitro
Boji.
too.
Yeah. Oh, Bales already, I was about to say Bales does too, but he already used it. So Boji's likely playing from below, like you said, for that Nitro cell. Bales is just there as added cover. As soon as he hears a rappel onto the 90 window too, he's going to try and make the jump out happen. And there's only a minute left. No plants haven't made nearly as much progress as they had at this timestamp last time. First smoke grenade goes out from Joe. I wonder if he used it this early in the first round that we saw when he kind of confusingly just ran at vault door. And no plants, without this massive time advantage and without the 2 opening picks, I doubt this round is going to go as smoothly as it did round 1.
No, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath, Crow, at the very end, right? The smoke grenades are going to go down. Donkey's going to try to find something with the drones. Well, look at this right on the little lip outside of study. Red might be able to find the opening pick here. It only takes a little bit to cover over there. And easy peasy headshot goes up against Junior. That's a great opening pick for Nemesis. And we saw this on the last Aviator too. It was an opening pick in their favor, but this was so much earlier on in the round. And now we have to see that massacre go underway. So much going through. Almost study control. It's not going to be enough, but suddenly a 4v2 goes underway. And Nemesis have a very stalwart control.
What?
Okay. Sure. They made it work this time.
What just happened?
You know... I feel bad for the cameraman.
So, all right. So, Nemesis set up for a roam on the other side of Trophy. It wastes about a minute 20. There's no casualties. They just waste a C4. Whatever. Bales and Boji playing downstairs. Bales eventually leaves Boji so he can help cover main. So, first off, I guess no plants just had no clue Red was there. Again, no info onto study. So, Junior just kind of gave his life away. 2, how the hell did that play from GXD work? Like, I have never seen someone double flash or like triple flash like that and have it actually work in a 180-degree crossfire. So, first of all, I guess props to GXD for at least getting 1 kill, but unfortunately, you know, those holes in the bottom of the study wall left him between a rock and a hard place. He couldn't stay there safely. He figures, okay, I have to try and peek main stairs. If I get the kill there, I can move through. Unfortunately for him, there were 2 people by main, so even if he killed 1, he would have gotten swiftly traded back anyway, but he didn't even get it. That was an easy second free kill for Nemesis. And then at that point, I mean, there was just nothing no plants could do. They were up against a shotgun, pushing through a doorway 1 by 1. Yeah, so
true.
You know, what are you going to do in that situation? So Nemesis take 2 rounds in a row. After the shaky round 1, they've definitely looked like the ones in control. Certainly some confusing stuff coming out from no plants. Now they'll try to complete that perfect site rotation on Dining Kitchen.
And I mean, those last 2 rounds that we saw Nemesis win, right? They were huge on stalling out no plants, but without even taking any gunfights. Those last 2 rounds, we saw those opening picks come out so late and pretty much right next to the bomb site both times. Nemesis know exactly that they need to play very loose and just swing around and just kind of scare off no plants a little bit and just let them push into the site. And look how fragmented this opening push is from no plants as well, right? Some going masters, some on the other side of the map, it seems. I'm wondering if they're going to try to bide towards the roam clear, or if they're going to push as a group. Look at Blanky too. He's just by himself as the nomad.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to do the amoeba roam clear, where they all 5 or 4 of them just kind of move in and take as much ground as possible with as many bodies as possible. Something they've got to definitely worry about is Bales from down below with the pulse, calling out all this information to his team, not only giving information to the roamers on what the position of the attackers are, but could also find an easy C4. Now, already one has gone out as a pre-place from Joe, and it won't do any damage. It actually may have done chip damage to Bales, his teammate, definitely not the desired result. Second C4 goes up, and it will also miss. 25 HP off of Donkey, but that's about it. You've wasted half your explosives now with no kill, and you've only made open holes for the attackers to use against you. So Joe's going to have to fall outside of dining. The pulse now tries to look up. Donkey could take this fight and potentially win it, but what an angle from Joe, finding the kill through the slats. That's a nice shot coming out in chat from Donkey. A nice shot it certainly was. Now you've lost your IQ, and with that pulse still on the board, Bales can pretty much play safe and sound as he'd like.
And what can you do now if you're no plans? You've lost Donkey yet again. He was the opening pick a few rounds ago as well, but now this amoeba push, like you mentioned, Crow, is kind of faltering a little bit. Red's all the way upstairs, Boji takes some damage down below, but otherwise, they're trying to find these gunfights and they're succeeding so heavily. Red's able to find one, but gets traded out immediately, but on the other side of the landing, could be another gunfight underway. 5v2 transforms now into a 4v1, but 4v2, that's still going to leave two left alive, kind of separated a little bit, but you have your skeleton crew. Hand on GXD with the hard breach, but you also have Blanky with the Nomad, potentially, if need be, clear out some very tight-lipped flanks. 50 seconds are left, Crow. All these defenders still being able to transverse wherever they want, and no gain or no map control has been gained from no plans.
Yeah, they're, again, looking like they're struggling a lot on their attack. GXD and Blanky, I mean, they have a hard breach, and they've got stuns. That's about it in the utility department. They're pretty much just going to have to take these straight up gunfights. There's a player actually playing inside a pantry who does a little bit of damage there to the Nomad, and there's a C4 from Boji. It rings up, gets GXD, and that's the last one at the disposal of Nemesis. So finally, they'll be able to get one of those kills. It's just Blanky in a 1 versus 3. Drops down the hatch, the Pulse calling that out to his team as he had his sensor out, so they know exactly where he's coming from. There's only one doorway he can play by, and he'll whiff all of his shots. Only 3 seconds left as Boji TKs one of his team members, but it doesn't matter. The clock will strike 0, and Nemesis will take their 3rd straight defense.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Again, the map control wasn't really there in No Plan's favor. They tried in the beginning to go for a huge, gigantic push, going to the top and study closet and pushing forwards. They weren't able to find much, especially with these early vertical gunfights in the beginning and Joe getting the opening gunshot too. It kind of feels like they scared away No Plan so much in these vertical plays that they opted not to go for it, and they were trampled over on the horizontal play once everyone in Nemesis just moved up the stairs away from them.
Yeah, that round was stopped at the roam clear.
Oh, yeah.
There was, you had, 3 people died upstairs with
Well,
no
that's
trades.
the thing too, right? We haven't seen No Plans get onto the bomb site since round 1.
Yeah, like almost in round number 3. Oh, like a couple more steps.
Just like a millimeter.
And I mean, that's been due to, 1, taking an exorbitant amount of time on their clears, 2, losing the opening picks, and 3, was really good. Like, that was a real... And we just haven't any sign of that since. They won
on the
round
bright
and
side,
they fell
though,
apart at the seams.
Absolutely. And that says a lot about Nemesis too. They were able to go for those macro adaptations to really figure out how No Plans wanted to play. And you got to give it to Nemesis. They figured out exactly what they need to do critically to fix their gameplay in 1 round.
That is true. It could definitely also be on Nemesis for just hard countering No Plans at every turn.
Oh, but a Twitch comes out.
Yeah, we have finally seen a change. In fact, 2 changes. So Junior swaps off of Ash onto Twitch, figuring that maybe the F2 in his hands will do more work than the R4C. And because you've lost your Ash, well, you need something to replace it with that has very similar utility, and Donkey will feel more comfortable on the Zofia. The IQ, not having done much. Donkey, I feel like, was playing more for the G8 in these situations because Nemesis aren't bringing a Valkyrie, and they only brought also 1 round. And he hasn't gotten a kill with the G8 yet. So it's definitely wise to swap off of that. We'll see if he can do anything with this operator. You've got 2 people trying to hold inside of AVG, Red X and Box. A duo roam between a Jaeger and a Mute is definitely something fierce to deal with. You've got 2 really good weapons, supplemented by the ADSs for any protection against projectiles, and the signal disruptors to prevent any hard intel from being gathered. And already we've wasted a minute. No plants have barely moved into the building because of these mute jammers. They can't feel confident pushing these roamers because they don't know exactly where they are. They'll try and stun in. Callie, I just called him Callie. Callie will just try and swing over. He's got an angle on the bar, but I mean, just look at the way they're playing. They have absolutely no clue where Red X is. They'll finally be able to clear one of those mute jammers, so spotting him behind the couch, he'll reposition himself over by the bar and take a couple shots, as now the first engagements will start to come through.
First engagement's going through indeed. Red's able to find Callie, but even then there's so many different bodies all over the place ready to counteract anyways. Still in the favor of Nemesis just by one single point. Another of the soft breach, both soft breach no less, have gone down immediately in the classic hallway. But what about the two more? Red having the eyes on another, gets a triple kill. One around the corner though, not able to find the fourth. It's gonna be Blanky able to trade it out. But now you've left it a 5v2. The damage has already been done for the round, and Crow, we've seen this story pretty much now 4 rounds in a row where you're left in a 5v2 if you're a fan of no plants, and they have to push forward seemingly with the most essential utility they have.
Do I have to say it again?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Poor roam clear from no plants for the 4th round in a row.
Well, you mentioned it yourself, right? Where's the drones? Sure, the mute jammers are down by Aviator, right? But we didn't see really much of a drone clear like going down below.
Dude, like, what? Does that even work? I don't even know if that works. GXC tried to, like, okay. It does work. I think he just missed. Because I do know if you have a shield, like, right up against a wall and Hibana blows it up, it'll destroy the shield. But, you know, like we were saying, we saw one Twitch drone come in to spot the Jaeger, and then there was nothing after that. And they all peeked Red X and died. No trades at all. And the two last players of No Plants, well, they try to shove themselves through a single doorway. And, I mean, that's just not going to work. Excellent cleanup there from, I believe, Box and Boji. Yeah, Box was the mute. Box and Boji. And that study roam just put an end to the round. So far, the last 4 rounds in a row, the round has been over because no plants they just can't clear a Villa roam, I guess.
And if you're on your last round now in the first half and you're no plants down 3 rounds, you really have to start thinking what you can do on the defense to really counteract exactly what you're doing wrong on the attack. It might sound kind of weird, but chances are, maybe you would hope if you're no plants, maybe Nemesis will fall into the same trap and we could see a strong roam clearing game from no plants side on the defense. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes down. We do see the 6th picks. The IQ returns yet again, and they're going back to the same default operators, Crow, that didn't work for the last 5 rounds.
Well, it's not going to be a change in utility. It's got to be a change in play style from no plants. I mean, I don't know if they'll actually do it because they haven't yet, but here's hoping. We got to be cautiously optimistic heading into this round. AVG is... it doesn't look like Nemesis, though, are going for that, like, trophy roam that they had established last time. There's no Goyo. There's no players setting up over there. So, I mean, no plants won't have to deal with it. But, I mean, again, when I said the last 4 rounds in a row, it's been over because they couldn't clear the roam. That was a little bit of a lie. Trophy roam, they did flush back the roam, but the roamers then became the anchors who also destroyed them.
And that was definitely calculated too, I think, from the beginning of the round too, that Nemesis just wanted to back off as soon as they found opposition. They could have taken those gunfights. Would it have been successful? We'll never know. But also Nemesis changing up their strategies on the defense every single round has definitely kept no plants on their toes, and it's something it seems like they're kind of struggling to adapt around. However, it's not too late. They did get 1 point on the board, and having a 4-2 split in the second half of Villa isn't really the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
But it could be better. You could have 4-2 in your favor, or you could dodge a C4. It's the small victories that count, but Donkey at least can get away with their life a little bit more. But look at this. There's no roamers, it seems, or at least no roam clear people upstairs on the top floor against no plants' side. In fact, they're all going to be down below trying to play off those C4s, but instead, they may be able to make their way up one of the stairs, possibly red, and just wait. And that's what Junior's biding his time for.
Yeah, it's another setup downstairs from Boji and Box, of course, playing for those C4s. Boji already used his, but Box still has his in his pocket. We're again seeing GXD separate from the pack and go for that study pinch. He'll be all alone to deal with, again, the Jaeger of Red X, only instead of being tucked on the other side of the fireplace by the art hatch, he's over by main stairs. That almost looked like a really good pre-fire from GXD. We might have to check the moss on that one. He deals a hell of a lot of damage to Red. He falls off of main stairs, scared of taking a fight with that Hibana now that he's only 1 HP. So GXD might be a little bit safer to move in, but he's still got to deal with those little prone holes on the study wall. Again, no early engagements at all from No Plants. No early picks, but I guess that means there's no early deaths either. As I say that, though, Junior is just going to go right up to the doorway, peek in, and find Red X prone by the middle sight wall. So down goes your low HP Jaeger. Joe takes a little bit of damage as well, and now we're sub 1 minute. No Plants are starting to make the execute happen. They've got a 1-man advantage. In comes the Ash. Joe fells her very quickly as GXD on the other side by the study cutoff takes a lot of damage himself. First gas grenade goes out as well from Joe, or sorry, second gas grenade goes out from Joe, and he'll stall out that doorway just a little bit longer. This shield in the hallway will also persist. There's not a lot of utility clearing going on from No Plants, as now, after that initial push from the Ash, they seem a little bit stumped. They will go for the plant, though, however. That's a great angle being played by the Sledge to cut off the main doorway, and that'll allow Blanky to go down after getting that pick. Joe is on the floor. The flank from the Malusi is unsuccessful. Callie finds a double, and Blanky finishes off Joe. It's just bails. Half HP now is the Wamai stuck behind bar in a 1 versus 4 post plant, and it looks like No Plants will finally stop the blue.
Oh, it's a mirror mode, essentially, of what we had saw in round number 1. Crow, 1 left alive now, bails, is at least able to survive in the post plant. This is the first successful plant, I think, that we've seen in the entirety of this game. Of course, it's going to go to the favor of No Plants. They win 4-2 going into the second half, but maybe they do win 4-2, but they're not on the bright end of that spectrum. They have to get 2 more points in a row to even out with Nemesis here. It's going to be a tough situation, but if Nemesis can do it on the defense, there's no reason thinking that No Plants can't either. But we're going to see a lot of adaptations come through, just like that Nemesis did on their own defense, if they want to stay in the game.
That was actually the second plant we've seen.
Both on Aviator.
Both on Aviator. From round number 1 to round number 6, the plants sandwich the first half of our game. Fortunately, we've got 2 players still on 0 kills. Donkey and Box yet to spawn in. Although Box does have significantly less deaths than Donkey does. In fact, Box, if you look at the scoreboard, it looks like Box and Boji. If you kill Box and Boji, you win the round. Look at that. That's how math works. Correlation equals causation. For all you people that have taken a stats class, you should know that very well. That is exactly how that works. I'm Asian. I know math. My word is gospel when it comes to mathematics.
I don't think I've passed a math class in 6th grade.
How?
I don't know.
How
Logarithms or whatever you learn are hard, man.
Logs? Logs are just reverse exponentials.
What's an exponential?
Like, like to the power, like 2 to the power of 2.
Oh, okay, that
4.
I know.
So like if you do what is it? Log 2 of 4, it's what to the power of 2 is equal to 4. So that would be 2. I think that's how logs work. Something like that. I don't quite remember.
I don't know. Your word's gospel.
Exactly. So if that's not how it works, that's how it works now. I have spoken.
I had one math teacher that was just awful. He was borderline senile, so we didn't learn anything about geometry.
Wow.
We learned a lot about the war, though. That was cool.
Wait, does that mean if you struggle with logs, did you ever take calc?
I took pre-calc.
Oh, so you didn't even have to do like derivatives and integrals.
Don't know what those are, man.
Oh. A derivative is the equation of a tangent line of a given function. It's actually pretty easy. Like the basic ones are pretty easy to find. You take the exponent, multiply it by the coefficient, and reduce the exponent by 1. So for example, like 4x squared, the derivative of that is 8x. You get it? It's that, or how about 3x cubed? So you multiply the coefficient 3 by the exponent 3, so that's 9. So 9x, and then you reduce the exponent by 1. So that'll be 3x cubed. The derivative of that would be 9x squared.
I think this is the most amount of math I have learned.
And then the integral is the opposite. So the integral of 9x squared is 3x cubed. Well, 3x cubed plus c, because you have to add in the coefficient, because the coefficient is reduced to 0 and you take a derivative. Anyway, back to Siege.
Well, the derivative of the nitro cell being pre-placed inside of the
the equation of the tangent line to that nitro cell being placed.
Oh, that's a real sine wave moment coming up from Joe, not able to find the opening pick either. The diffuser's on the ground, and we're not seeing Nemesis really play around with it. They're looking to find this opening pick, and in other games we would call that defaulting a little bit, try to find the opening pick and see normally which site would be more beneficial to go to, but since they're so close together inside Aviator, everyone on No Plans are hunkering down, waiting for them to strike.
Yeah, this has again been a pretty long round. So we were able to talk about math for a long time because, well, nothing's really happened. All Nemesis has done is just move into Master, drone it out, ensure that nothing's there. But as if right on cue, Donkey's going to get the first kill of the round. Finally, we have a body fall, and it's going to be Joe, one of the big players on the defense. Not going to be available for this attack, and quite an important operator it was as well. That was your Hibana. That was your Hard Breacher. It looked like, did he just try to walk into study?
I think so. We saw him try to open it up before, but Donkey's able to be the study master, able to find two of them at once. And Nemesis are not really looking that great for their opening attacking round here. They've already lost one hard breach, they've lost their soft breach, and they're down again to their basic skeleton crew. Donkey's on a tear with a triple kill, no less. And while everyone's on site, he's just going to rampage his way forwards. At least it's not going to be flawless, but what about Donkey on a 4K, no less?
Okay.
Okay, so, Donkey.
Donkey had no kills before that round. You know what? Maybe Donkey's just a defense player. You know, maybe he's just not comfortable on the attack. He prefers to start in the building and wait for people to come to him. Just on top of main stairs, the sole man tasked with shutting down that study presence. Well, I think it's safe to say he did his job with a T. He killed both of the people pushing through the study door, wrapped around for a third as he was getting flanked from main stairs, and then right when those last two players tried to shove themselves through the doorway, he came around by study and shut the second one down after the initial had already been killed by one of his teammates. I don't remember who it was. That doesn't matter because Donkey popped off, and that's what's important. The round as a whole didn't look great from Nemesis either. They hadn't opened the study walls at all, because Joe just kind of died, and I think when they tried to, there must have been like a mute jammer or a Cade charge, something there to stop it. And Nemesis, I mean, they fell into pretty much the same trap as No Plants did, spending a lot of time getting master control, and then just doing nothing, and then being like, crap, we've done nothing, and freaking out and trying to push in with really no game plan.
Yeah, it seemed like Nemesis really had this huge emphasis of trying to find the roamers that simply didn't exist on No Plant's side. Everyone except Donkey, and we'll see why, was able to hunker down onto the site and kind of let Donkey do his thing on Classical. He was able to find the triple, like you said, Crow, and make that into a 4 at the very end. They didn't need a roam clear. And honestly, I'd be kind of surprised if we see an extension again, but Blanky's kind of proving me otherwise now, and I think they're taking some tips out of the playbook of Nemesis's defense. Huh. But it's not going to be Junior, though, so it's not going to be like how Red played on the Jaeger a few rounds ago, hiding inside a bar. I'm wondering, though, if it's going to have the same result, because the SMG-11 is a great weapon, don't get me wrong, but I'm wondering if it's going to have the same amount of consistency.
Yeah, the SMG-11 is good if you
know how to
can
use
it, right? Like we saw, who were we watching? Was it the Wichita Wolves game? No, it was Wolfseas. It was Wolfseas on Honor. Every time he peeked someone with the SMG-11, it just did not work. His recoil management. I love you, Wolfseas. I've casted you for a long time, but man, you gotta work on that, bro. So already,
look at this power position coming out from Boji here, trying to hold down the 4, almost finding Junior, but Junior's going to rotate off instead. It's going to be no control of Classical from anybody at all. And excuse me, that was Callie instead, but Callie lost control of it. So many different bodies now taking over Study and going into Bar now and Aviator, but where are those defenders we talked about? They're simply missing, except for Blanky right around the corner, waiting for someone to come on by. It's definitely a better position to use the SMG-11, but rotating around could have been a huge issue, but it looks like the Zofia wasn't able to land the shot.
Another slow round so far from Nemesis.
Yeah.
Although they, again, granted they have completely cleared Study, so it's not nothing. Taken a minute and a half. Donkey's going to back off all the way, and he's going to hold Master because he knows, hey, this entire push is going to be coming from the landing and bench side of things, so I have the room to do this. We do see one player going to the roof, maybe looking to go and wrap around over towards Study side, but Callie is going to get the lead-off kill. Down goes Bales. Down goes your Nomad. Now, being this late in the round, his air jabs have probably all been set up, so it's not the worst loss in the world, but as Boji finds Callie, Junior's there with a quick refrag onto Joe. So now one of your players whose task was to push over towards the Master side, and because it was the Hibana, likely to open up that main Master wall and get that pinch going on, he'll no longer be able to do that. You've got your Zofia there, so, you know, there's still presence, but like I said, you can't open that Master wall, and that's a pretty integral part of this attack. In fact, Boji is going to take a hell of a lot of damage since Donkey is still hanging around by the bed and just peeking the windows like a madman, fishing for this Zofia. And Box and Red over by bench are stalled out. I mean, they're taking so much time. The Zofia tries to make a gambit and jump in. Donkey finishes him off, but Box is at least there for a trade. He's got no idea there's one standing right in the middle of the room. Somehow both players will whiff their shots, but it's just him and Red. 13 seconds left. They've got to make a plant happen. As Red pushes in, he dies and drops case. It's just the sledge. Box is lit. He does take out two. I don't know how that just happened. Oh, Junior actually TK'd. That's not good. The round just became more salvageable, but the pre-fire lands as Box is only 1 HP. That was almost a complete disaster from No Plants, but luckily, there was just low enough time and low enough HP on that sledge for Junior to be able to clutch it up with ease.
I'm absolutely shocked. That was a huge roller coaster right at the very end where it could have gone either way. You know, for most of the time, it did look like it was in No Plant's favor, but just at a very small sliver of a second, when it turned into a 1v1, it was totally possible to see Nemesis bring it to the 5 score marker. Fortunately, that's not what we saw. And right now, it's going flawlessly for No Plants. Even now, they're flawless on their second half now, and Nemesis, by this point, had gone 1-1 against their team.
All right, Devin is berating me in chat for providing a very reductive definition of basic calc principles.
Oh, well,
sorry, Devin, for not
I need that.
delving into math on an SCS broadcast. I already got distracted enough. Freaking...
With me being muted?
Producer, yeah, that too. Producers, man, they just
it's one of
grind
those
our
days.
gears. Except Ferme. Ferme goat. Ferme never tells us what we're doing wrong. Well,
you know what's really
he
weird
does
about
when it's
this map?
egregious, but... What?
There's a painting in this map that looks like me when I had long hair.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it got destroyed. You know, oh,
Where
man,
is
it's on
it?
the second. Oh, right there, upper right. Do you see that on the stairs going to Astro?
The Astro stairs?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, you have to flip around if you're the observer. We'll definitely see it at some point. Yeah, oh, almost. There it is.
That?
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit.
Right?
That's... what?
That's an original. I don't think that's a painting that like an artist made. I think Ubisoft made that. I've tried for years to find out like who that is.
What?
I don't think it's a real person.
Dude, that is so weird.
But there's like also legitimate paintings in this map too, which also isn't like anywhere else in this game. Like there's Galileo, there's Abraham Lincoln, and then there's just a random dude.
I am sorry, dude. That just like, as Carter says, that just stun locked me. That is uncanny. That almost looks like a combination of you and Adam Driver.
Oh, when I didn't have my facial hair, everyone said I looked like Adam Driver.
Is that a compliment or an
I think it depends on which movie came out last.
That's true. Oh,
But
Junior is just
he's one with the
bottom red,
Force.
and nobody droned him. So, Nemesis falling for, it looks like, very similar mistakes that No Plants did. They'll forfeit the opening kill to Junior, the man himself, the Pulse, who will, looks like, retreat down to the basement and play his life, as, you know, you tend to do as Pulse. Look at that. He's already back upstairs. He rotated either bottom Astro or up Pantry. I'd imagine Pantry because of the way the attackers are positioned. You've got GXD, though, bottom Astro, and he will also rotate away and probably come up through Pantry. Nemesis's take, oddly enough, is almost completely horizontal, which is very contrary to what we normally see, you know, because we see, like, the trophy clear, and then Sledge does the vertical play, and blah, blah, blah. I'm interested as to why Nemesis are just not going for that, despite nobody from No Plants playing up there.
And they have a lot of soft reach potential too. They could go for the vertical play, but we're not seeing that. Maybe they're trying to keep no plants on their toes, and they certainly are with a 4v4, but they're taking so much damage on both sides. Look at Joe and Bales. They're already heavily damaged, right? And sure, they do have some holes in the walls there, but a 3v3 turns into a 3v2. So many buys are going through. It's turning into a battlefield onto the site. 2 left alive now on both sides. Bales heavily damaged on the Nomad yet again. Finds themselves the last one alive. No diffuser in hand. Banshee detecting them all over. Audio cues throughout, but now having to push on forwards. Almost gets the trade, but immediately GXD finds it instead.
Dude, Hibana just tried to make a break for it. Holy, did you see that?
We've seen so many of those this game.
The execute started coming down and his team was dying and he just booked it out the doorway.
I would say, like, I'm not a mathematician, right? I would say a third of the rounds we've seen on the attack, each team tried to book it at the very end, and I think it only worked once.
Dude, it's been something like that. It has not been great for the attackers so far. I mean, again, that round from Nemesis, not a lot of intel. Forfeited the opening pick to Junior because I guess they just didn't know he was on red stairs. Or something. And then there was no upstairs take at all. That was completely horizontal, just trying to move through living room, trying to get control of... I mean, they had control of Mud and Bicycle, but they just tried to push their way into China. That was just Nemesis kind of hammering their heads against the wall and hoping that it was going to crack. There was no vertical pressure, despite having a Sledge, despite having an Ash and a Zoph, and plenty of breaching charges, and plenty of time to do it with. I mean, there was nobody from No Plants even up there to contest. No Plants, or Nemesis would have had free range to do whatever the hell they wanted, but because they never did, none of those key anchor positions were flushed out, so No Plants were able to just hold firm and deny every entrance Nemesis tried to go through.
I mean, you got to give props to Nemesis, right? They tried to go for something a little unorthodox. It didn't quite work out the way they had hoped, right? But a lot of teams do like to default for those, pretty big magnitude going towards soft breach, some hard breach utility as well. They probably expected the defenders to really play into those vertical angles, just like when the sides were reversed, they did the same exact thing. So going for the horizontal take isn't bad on paper. I don't think anyone can disagree with that, but the execution of it was kind of haphazard, like we've seen most of the attacks in this game.
Yeah, it was just, they just tried to walk in, and it didn't work. That's what we saw in the round just prior. It's what we saw from Trophy, where again all they had was control of benches, and their master, like the 2 players pushing master, didn't make anything happen. So what was Nemesis forced to do? Walk in. It didn't work. Same thing from AVG. They just took so much time. Their study pressure failed. They had no pinch. They were forced to just walk in, and that's what we saw from No Plants too. The time was low. Barely any control, no opening picks, they walk in, and they die. That's been the story of Villa Attack from both teams. If Nemesis can buck the trend, we could potentially see them take the advantage, but if they don't, then No Plants are probably just going to continue running up the score and maybe even winning the map.
I mean, so far this entire game has just been a battle of the defense, right? We've seen 2 attacking wins throughout the entire series. Everything else was pretty much on defense here. And so obviously both teams know how to play the defense really well, but it's the same exact operators coming out almost every single round, and they're just getting counteracted so easily. And it's not even anything crazy like a Nitro Cell denying things. It's just straight up losing gunfights.
Yeah, it's losing straight up gunfights.
And no droning.
Yeah, right? It's losing straight up gunfights because they either haven't droned or are almost out of time and are forced to push into it. They're not, like, I don't think there's been a single, like, really advantageous gunfight an attacker has taken on the bomb site so far through this second half.
No, definitely not in the second half. We did see some crazy plays from some Nomads earlier on that I would say were advantageous, but those were sold last second, that it was like pure reflex.
Like the No Plants, like on the well, I mean, they only won AVG attacks, but the 2 rounds they won the AVG attacks, they had really good crossfires on the site. They had all the bases covered, and at that point, what did the defense have to do? They had no way to deny plant, and they had to walk at them, and they died. That's been like the whole theme so far this match, is what side is forced to walk into the other.
True. And I mean, specifically in my mind, I'm remembering Joe. I think the round number 6, he pushed up with his shotgun in hand as the smoke. That would have been perfect to deny the plan, but they got gunned down immediately because of those crossfires. And now we might see a retelling of those same events again, but it's going to be on Master Bedroom to start things off. Now, these roam clears typically have not gone really that well for either attacking team, and mostly that's because there have been no roamers. We do see a bit of a push inside Master Bedroom. No one, if you can see, not a single member of No Plants anywhere close except for one hanging around downstairs near bar, or near kitchen it seems. I'm not sure if they're waiting for this nitro cell or not, but one is hiding on 90, waiting for someone to push out. But even then, it's going to be up to Junior right now to possibly make that opening move.
Here's the drone from Nemesis. It stops just short, though. I'm not quite sure if they know Junior's there. Potentially find either a flank or a C4.
They have to know.
I believe the drone just saw him. That's why the drone did that little double take there. So Junior will immediately fall back. There were 2 players hot on the heels of that drone. So that's what we love to see from Nemesis. That's improvement. OG will just tentatively hunt him down, but nothing too committal. OG just rotates out. I assume Bales will rejoin his team upstairs, and Nemesis will continue with our regularly scheduled program. Joe, already over by study. He's going to be looking to, again, open up that study wall. Now, that's the one thing that I would like to see from Nemesis, is a better study take, because last time, of course, they had the Cade on the wall that you currently see electrified into study. There was no clear of that, so Joe wasn't able to open the wall. So what was he forced to do? Well, he was forced to walk in, and that's where Dunkey found the 4K. Now, it doesn't look like Nemesis are going to be clearing the... Oh, no, mind. There goes the nade. I believe it just cleared that, so that now that Joe is able to open that, we might see a better attack from Nemesis.
Blanky, though, could be the final deciding factor whether this works. He decides to opt to peek out, but no, he's able to luckily get away with his life, but both teams are actually able to. Junior's still hiding down below. C4 still in hand, though. I'm curious to see if that's going to make a huge difference in the gameplay, but then again, we have to go underway. 2 nitro cells on the side of No Plants. The push going underway. They have that pinch we talked about in the pre-show so much before, but GXD is able to find the opening pick. There's only 4 left on Nemesis' side. Is that going to be enough, though? They still have that advantage to have the pinch. Up to Joe and others now. They have the plant possibly in their possession. Bales falls, but still on the full side of 4v4 across the board. 25 seconds are left. The battlefield all over Aviator. There's 2 left alive, and they need to get that plant underway, but they're being stalled out by the Toxic Babes. It turns into a 2v3, though. Box is able to find Blanky. The smoke completely gone. But what about the rest of the more mobile defenders? They're able to collapse onto the side. GXD with a triple. Make that almost 4, but Dunkey gets the final 1.
Much better attempt from Nemesis. I think we can safely say that was definitely improvement from them. They actually got the study wall. They had that pinch. Joe even made his way inside the site and hugged the bomb chassis. But unfortunately, again, the trade game going in No Plant's favor. They were able to get that opening pick. Sure, it was traded out by Nemesis, but the smoke grenade denying the plant from Sledge gave that little hole that the defenders needed to push back. I believe it was GXD and who was the Cade? Blanky?
No, Blanky was the smoke.
Dunkey was the Cade. It allowed GXD and Dunkey the opportunity they needed to push back. They both found a kill apiece. There was no recourse from the attack. None.
Is that... Oh?
That's interesting.
Harrison's the princess.
All right, Princess...
Ayana,
because Max is in love with Princess Diana, so he always
just not
references
fair.
her.
We also don't see her enough for it to get stale, right? I mean, it's like a beautiful little present
it's
to see.
It's kind of like a one every so often bit, so I'll give it to you.
It's
so
like a shiny Pokemon.
That's something interesting from Nemesis. So we've criticized both teams in their intel work on the attack. So maybe the Iana will alleviate that. You get pretty much not infinite intel, but regenerating intel throughout the course of a round. So if they don't need to rely on their drones, if they just have someone sprint in and face check everything, maybe that'll help. They've also got a nice extra set of nades to assist them. So you've got Red with 2, Box with 2. Still, you got the impacts from Boji as well. So plenty of utility to go around to clear. The Malusi, Goyo, all that good stuff. So I'll definitely be keeping a close eye on how Red plays this.
Yeah, I definitely want to see what Red can do here, because even in the last round in itself, right, we saw plenty of opportunities where the Iana could have been used really well, especially up against Junior, who made a full rotate through the bottom floor. If you had a Nyana there, that wouldn't necessarily be the case. You would be able to catch them out a lot quicker, a lot more free, a lot less resources expended doing so. We're seeing that Gemini drone go underway. Possibly able to find one. Definitely sees the tracers, but little do they know, two are inside the rotate onside Aviator side. Able to find the generator. Gemini's going to fall, but Donkey might have a lot of opposition right around the corner. Looking around though, surrounded almost completely. This Sledge wants to go for the kill, but is this the smartest move? He could be surrounded whether he knows it or not. There's not a lot of extra intel besides what the Gemini brought out, Crow. I'm wondering though, the rest of the team trying to come through with the pinch, almost essentially surrounding everybody inside Aviator. This could have went from a really good move for No Plans into a really dire one.
Well, there's no deaths just yet. Ibanapel is trying to clear that study wall. It'll be denied by the impact from Donkey. Great timing there. And Junior gets the first pick on to Joe. Down goes your Hibana, player who was trying to actually open that wall originally. Well, you won't be able to do that anymore. Donkey battling over the bar, does find the kill on the box, gets the better of the Sledge. Bales is there with a single refrag, but Blanky finds one onto Bales. Donkey with another before it's finally refragged. And look at this. Nemesis, at long last, are able to clear that AVG roam, but at what cost?
Well,
4 players.
A small loss. You
A
still have the
small
princess.
price to pay for Aviator control.
I'm sorry, little one. So now you find yourself in a 1v3, right? You have Ayana there. You have the diffuser in hand. You still have most of your utility too. It's not out of the woods just yet, but the angles are being found on you. Red's able to find a double kill, no less, and now having to push through the other way, trying to find the misdirect, maybe trying to catch out a rotate as well. One behind the little statue on the right side, able to find yet another, a triple from Red, no less. There's still one more to deal with, though. Gemini comes down, 45 seconds left. The Sailor Senshi into play. Is that going to be bathed to find Blanky, though? They have to make a proper and calculated move. The drone goes on the other way, going through the deer, but no, it's the real deal right around the corner, having the side advantage. It's going to be Blanky having to rotate around, but right behind the chassis. Is that going to be enough? No, Red did it! The princess is back! Oh, I love Ayana.
Wow. I did not expect Red to be able to win that. That was a brilliant AVG roam by No Plants. And a relatively poor clear by Nemesis. I mean, we saw it go down right in front of our eyes. Junior was able to find one. Blanky was able to find one. And Donkey was able to find 2 as the Wamai behind bar. That should have been it. It should have been over. It was a 1v3 for Red X by the time that happened. But holy hell, did he play that perfectly. Not only did he find the angle on the initial player that he killed, I forgot who it was. Doesn't matter. Then used the nade to flush out the player behind the statue and hit the shot. And in the 1v1, used the side advantage. The Malusi rotated away into the other bomb site. And while she does that, Iana moves in and she just looks away at the wrong time. Brilliant play by Red to save the round. And at least for now, Nemesis keep themselves in this. No Plants are still on map point, however. We're now on the last round of regulation. This will either be a victory for No Plants, or we're going to go to OT, and both of these teams will have at least 1 point coming away from it.
That single play coming out from Red may have been the factor that keeps Nemesis in the game. Right now, it seems like there could be a high possibility that we could go to overtime now. That Ayana needs to be a pivotal factor again going into this round, Crow. If it goes down early, or even the second or third pick, it's all but over for Nemesis in map number 1. If we can see a similar roam clear go out in Nemesis' side, go effectively well this time around, instead of, the little battlefield we saw inside of Aviator, we, again, could see overtime, but No Plans. The stakes are so high right now for them. I'm wondering what's going to happen next, because it's a 5v5 and it's going to be a trophy yet again.
Now, if No Plants can play this like they did in the previous round, it should be a shoo-in for them, but Nemesis are opting for a very different attack. They know that, if they try to clear AVG, they might get swamped just like they did in the previous round, so they'll instead take from below and likely do their Master Astro pinch. Just making sure that there's no one downstairs playing for that C4. It's, of course, pivotal. Maybe even taking out some of these shields that GXD has placed from below. Boji can do that pretty handedly if he gets a ping or some kind of info from his team. See him now looking upwards. Probably hear the explosion, and there we go. Down goes the first Goyo shield. The Iana is just... Nobody shot that.
You can have the intel. It's cool.
Nobody from the dude. If that was actually Red, he might have been able to find 2 free kills there. But GXD is going to absolutely demolish Box on the Astro Repel. You've now lost your sledge. You've lost a set of nades, and no plants start this round off well.
Oh, and this rotate from GXD is powerful too, right? We did see an initial bathroom push. Yeah, exactly. You can just get out of there if you want to. You can just skedaddle, have the fiery blaze behind you, and a calculated C4 coming out from Blanky, whether he knows it or not, is going to take so much damage off of Bales and forcing them to relocate their way almost in the bicycle. But Junior right on the other side is able to find one, collapsing it down. What about Blanky? No, they're already into the ground. Suddenly, things are not looking good. One left alive, making that almost 0, but Joe's able to find 1 at least. But GXD still in the game a little bit more. Joe needs to push their way up, but Astro Stairs could be a problem. Slowly lurking their way forwards, able to find the last kill. No plans. They're going to find themselves very beneficial in map number 1. Now we have to see what map number 2 brings for both teams.
Fortunately, Joe not able to clutch the round. I saw plenty of Joeists in chat, as they like to refer to themselves as. Unfortunately, their Lord and Savior couldn't do enough. Couldn't clutch up the 1v4. And I mean, at that point, do you really expect him to? Those were pretty damning odds to be up against. 3 players on double digits for no plants. Look at that. Exemplary performance there in the second half, just having a stronger defense. It was a 4-2 for Nemesis. No plants immediately answer with a 5-1 of their own. So,
holy moly.
That was really well done on the defense from no plants. It looked like both sides were struggling from very similar issues on the attack. Just no plants were able to shore it up 1 round sooner than the Nemesis were.
Who would have thought that round number 1 of the whole series would have been, if not the most important round? It was just beautiful to see the early rush-ins coming through. Round number 6 was important as well. Pretty much, again, this was a battle of the defense. Both of these teams did a fantastic job, no matter which side they were on for the defense. But when it came to the attack, especially the late-game attack, that's what really divided these two teams. My main concern, though, is going to Clubhouse. You said it yourself. Clubhouse is a map where all the strategies have been absolutely done to death. And while we have seen some new things kind of come on through in recent time, has it been enough to really make a huge divide between Nemesis and no plants?
Yeah, I guess the one benefit of having a map like Clubhouse where everything's been figured out is it then just comes down to your fundamentals, right? It comes down to who has their fundamentals better, who has them more locked down. Doesn't really come down to the crazy stuff like you sometimes see onto Villa.
Like Red.
Yeah, like Red. So, from what we saw, no plants maybe have a better handle on the fundamentals, if only by like a little bit. That could be the decider on Clubhouse, but we'll have to see. Of course, this is Nemesis's map pick. So, I would hope they definitely fare better on it. But it should theoretically be pretty close.
I think it will be close. I'd be surprised if it really pendulum swings its way to like 6-0 or, even like a 4-2 split could be surprising as well, going either way. But 5-7 makes a lot of sense seeing both teams.
Yeah, I definitely hope they both watch the VOD and figure out, what was going on with their attacks. But now, as we take a look at the stats, look at that spread from no plants.
Lord.
Yet Boji and Red doing their best to keep Nemesis together. 10-8 from Boji, 11-10 for Red, and 83% cost, in fact, from Boji, the highest in the entire lobby. Look at no plants. 4 of your players have a 1.0 rating or above. That is exemplary. And that is what wins you games like these. That is what wins you these close games. And you've even got people like Junior on the Ash Jaeger. He's 4-1 on entry, the best entry record in the lobby. That's what you love to see from your players like that. High cost from him as well. 66% cost from 3 of your players. So while Boji and Red were doing very well for Nemesis, more of No Plants was doing better as a whole.
I think the big question, though, is, given all these stats, is it going to carry over into Clubhouse, though? The stats are important, but I easily think we could see the reverse of this going into the end of map 2. I'm really curious to see how this is going to go under. We did see Boji and Red have a really dominant game, especially in the late rounds. Red really pulled through on the attack, but Joe and Box, they struggled a little bit at times, and I think maybe now going to a more fundamentally sound map like Clubhouse Crow could be the way for them to really step things up.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Nemesis are going to be able to pull back. I'm sure they will.
They could. It could be a tie, right? I think, given the whole season, this might be one of the matchups we're most likely to have a tie.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. The thing about Club, though, is, I mean, like Villa, it relies heavily on your intel collecting, especially because of how much roaming there tends to be nowadays on Club. So I feel like we're going to see the same issues we saw on Villa. It's again going to be, to which degree is it going to be from each team? Whoever has, less glaring mistakes like that are probably going to be the ones to come out on top. Of course, we can't go to Clubhouse just yet. We need a break before that to get the team situated and all that good stuff. So thank you all for tuning in for map number 1 and sticking with us. We've got another map just after this short intermission.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SCS. We have another map here between Nemesis and No Plans. Map number 1 went a very interesting way, maybe not the way most people had expected, but it was a big battle of the defense. My name is Keg, and I'm joined by the amazing Crow and Clubhouse. The map of fundamentals now determines which of these two will be better this week.
Yeah, we saw a hotly contested Villa from both sides. The defense, I mean, through and through having the advantage. It was a 9-3 split in favor of the defense. Now, as you can see from the map, and we head on to Clubhouse. Now, of course, Villa was No Plants' pick, so you kind of expect No Plants to be able to win that. Now we go on to Nemesis's pick. It's where they'll hopefully have just as good, if not a better showing. I think what you said before the break is definitely accurate. I think if we're going to have a tie any week, it's probably going to be this week.
Of course, it's the one time we cast each other, right? It's gonna be a tie.
Yeah.
Hopefully not infinite overtime.
Us, man.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see overtime. I don't know.
It depends on the first half, I would say, right? Because
Yeah.
we saw that with Villa. No Plans got round 1 and round 6 on the attack. Nemesis just floundered completely on the attack at times. If we can see both attacks find, like, at the half, each find their opening attacking round, I think we can see overtime. But you said it yourself before we went to break, a lot of it had to do with intel issues. We saw a distinct lack of droning coming out from both teams, and funny enough, on the attack, even if there was a distinct lack of droning, there was not a lot of nitro cell kills coming out from the defense either. But I have a feeling, despite it being the capital city of it on Villa, we might see a lot more of that on Club here.
Well, oh, it looks like this. Oh, the sides are wrong.
Oh, I know that pain. I think the worst time that ever happened to me, I had like SSG in my lobby and stuff.
Wow.
That cuts you to the bone at times.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to rehost. I guess we'll wait till after the operator bans to do it. First one's gonna be Hibana. Hibana obviously being the ban on Clubhouse nowadays. We see it even more consistently than Thatcher, which is definitely a surprise. Although Thatcher is still going to be removed. So you still leave up Maverick, still leave up Ace. So it's, you know, everything is still pretty standard. Hibana is through and through the most powerful hard breacher now, with the rework, or with her rework, I should say. Mira will be the first operator on the defense that will no longer be with us.
Could be Maestro or Valkyrie.
Second one,
it was Maestro last time, and that is
Maestro
a huge pick
again.
for No Plants. They love going for Maestro. I thought it was a counter strat for them going up against D2E, but I think we're going to see Maestro. Oh, nope. I was wrong.
It is Wamai. So, now that the operator bans are done, we're going to have a rehost. Hopefully it's not too long, because there is nothing for us to milk.
Well, I've always wondered personally, Crow, what are the books behind you? I guess I should be looking this way.
Like which one?
All of them? Depending on how long this rehost is. But to be fair, I just want to say, so far, my prediction's right. I said No Plants. You said tie. Looking like it could be one of us right now.
Well,
not Connor, though.
One of us will be right.
Yes.
No matter what. Connor, already done. Prediction already out of there.
Man.
I'm kind of course, I'll be hoping that Nemesis wins this map.
You've been growing your hair out. I never noticed.
No, it only looks longer because of the middle part. I mean, it's been quite long for some time.
See, these headphones don't do me justice. Like, look at this, right? Like, what is this, right? I don't know what this is. No amount of product in the world has been able for me to lift this up. And Chief is in my DMs every week, like, hey, you should try out this product. You should try out this one. And he's like, at one point, Chief Gerthang is like, I have this miracle hair product. It is the best thing in the world. It'll make everything work, right?
What is it?
And he sends me a picture of it, and it's the same stuff I use that just doesn't work for me.
That's pretty funny.
I hope he gets a 0 prediction rate.
Wow. I mean, he can. He's already got 33%. He's already at a third.
Yeah,
no,
pretty
my
close.
hair's still. I mean, my hair's pretty long. Like if I do that, well, so I can kind of do this. I can't because of the way it's dried, but it's pretty egregiously long. I need it cut definitely before Challenger League starts. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Devin will kill me if I don't, and I
put it in
don't
a
want
ponytail.
Devin to kill me. I could what?
No, you put it in a ponytail.
No. I'm not gonna do that.
No, you could do pigtails with the way it's split on the sides.
I do like. No, I'm not gonna do that. All right, we're back in it. Thank God, rehost is done. Thank Christ, we can get back in the lobby whenever.
All right, let's see this go underway. We did see Hibana and we saw Thatcher banned. The bit of a surprise, though, on the defense, we did see the Mira go under, which was the C on both maps now. But the Wamai is the most interesting one. It makes a lot of sense going to Clubhouse. Very, very popular in just about every site. But I'm mostly narrowing my sights in on CCTV.
Yeah, CC is definitely going to be interesting with no Wamai. We saw that from PDHM Vale, where they banned Wamai, and both teams... Well, no. Primarily Vale took full advantage of the Capitao. So we're going to see that from No Plants. Capitao immediately getting picked from onto Kali. I keep calling Kali. On the Cali. Church, though, is going to be the first site. Capitao's still very good because, I mean, when you take a Capitao, you're pretty much saying, okay, guys, we're taking blue. And it's really easy to get the guy out of behind generator with that. You have one person push oil pit, Capitao, send his bolts down the hatch, and there you go. Generator presence for free. So I imagine that's what we'll see from No Plants.
Probably too, and we usually see a lot of default plays coming out from No Plants playing inside of Generator and playing inside of Blue. I believe it's No Plants who like to have the rotate going inside of Church. I know a lot of teams like to use that, but I think specifically in the matchup with D2E, we did see some use of that as well. But we're going to have to wait and see how that goes under. Going to be going to round number 1 now, going to Church. And again, if you're watching in the audience, just like us, we're going to be really looking at how the attack goes underway, because that was such a huge issue between both teams on Villa.
I hope we don't see the same issues as we did on Villa.
I hope not.
Otherwise, that would be
I think
not great for either of these teams moving into the rest of the season, and for Nemesis moving into Challenger League. I also know No Plants are going to attempt qualifiers, so we'll definitely need to fix their issue by then too.
I feel like it's very possible that we're going to see a 3-3 split here. I mean, we're jumping the gun a little bit with the predictions, right? But I think 3-3 is probably the most likely outcome. No?
Yeah, I guess I can agree with that. A lot of people see Clubhouse now as being attacker-sided to an extent, solely because of the Hibana change and the nerfs to Amai and Jaeger, right?
Yeah.
It's way harder to hold positions like Rafters, Blue / Generator, even just in the ball, like common anchor positions in general, because of those. So, I think we could definitely see a 3-3, maybe even a 4-2 advantage for the attack. First, we'll see how No Plants start off. Already taking control of Garage and opening up stuff like Blue Hatch, Moto, all that good stuff. Donkey positioning himself up inside of Secret, so obviously they will be going for this blue control. They got to deal with the utility first. Where is... No, was Blanky opening? I just forgot. Was Blanky opening Kitchen or Moto?
Blanky was opening
he was
up
opening
Dirt.
Garage. I don't know why... Like, I saw him maving, and I was like, yeah.
Well, he mapped open Dirt. He was putting some holes
there
in
he is.
before.
Now he's doing Moto.
Yeah, there we go. I think that was mostly a distraction, trying to keep Dirt occupied for the most part. Opening up Moto now is going to be much more beneficial, I think, throughout the entire round. But look at that, already trying to fish a little bit down below. Nemesis on, I'm not sure which defender that was, looking to see when the hatch opens up. Could be early C4 comes down, and they might not even need to do that. Boji's able to find the opening pick, taking down Junior, and whatever rushing capabilities, whatever soft breach the Ash could have brought out, especially in Kitchen and Hallway, it's just not going to be there. In fact, Ash died really far in.
Yeah, it looks like he either dropped Moto or ran down main to try and put himself inside of Moto. And he died to Kool-Aid Wall.
No trade potential either.
Yeah. There will be a trade, though. Not onto him, but onto Box. Donkey starting to push down. We'll get the kill onto the Jaeger as he's flushed out by the Capitao. Really good utility usage there from Cali. And there we go. Just like I said, it's pretty easy to take out that Generator player when you have the Capitao and the Wamai is banned. Donkey gets the kill onto the player right onto the kitchen hatch. Boji now down. It's just Joe and Bales in a 2 versus 4. We'll try to flank over towards the church wall. He finds one onto Blanky. We'll move into main stairs, but the long-range fight, not advantageous at all with the SMG-11. And as Bales moves into Moto, he's taken out by GXD. A big 3K there for Donkey on the entry, and No Plants take the first round.
And what did we say? Having the first round attack go in your favor is going to be monumental between both teams. We have to see now if No Plants are able to make it twice in a row here. I think that's going to be a huge benefactor or a huge decision maker to see whether or not we can see them really play dominant into the second half here. But Nemesis, they play that pretty well themselves. It was just the fault of the Capitao inside blue and generator that, like you said, really put a lot of pressure on all different sides of the side.
Yeah, the fact that, you know, again, when it comes to Clubhouse, you really only need two avenues for each site. When it comes to Church, Arsenal,
Oh yeah.
so they have blue, they have Moto, they have a pinch on the takeover by Church Wall. He gets one kill, then he's swiftly traded back, and you know, Cade is stuck in Church by himself to fight against a blue main push, and there's just nothing he's going to be able to do against that. So that was all down to the blue take from Donkey, and the really good tag team utility usage there from Cali on the Capitao.
Was Capitao 6-picked in round 1? I don't think it was. It was? See, that I think
it was
huge.
6-picked off of Monty on the Capitao.
See, that's huge because Nemesis couldn't really read into that. But now that they know there's a lot of viability with no plans on Capitao, they have to adjust literally all their defensive strategies around that one sole operator. And now Cali's going to be the #1 target on their back for Plant's side. If he falls, the entire strategy for Plants may very well fall along with it. But we are going to be seeing some default hard breach in the beginning here, some Selma charges, maybe a Shuri towards 2 on the lip. But we have to wait and see what the other lane of the push is going to be. Very well could be inside Jacuzzi, getting that double pinch, going towards the top floor. But we're going to have to wait and see after the drone work has been finished. Junior may have spot one. They rush in.
Where is he? Oh, did he already? All right, he already backed off Swamp.
Yeah. But look at this. Blanky might be able to find this pick onto Boji here. Boji, of course, now going to be backing off a little bit more towards Stock, going back down on Arsenal and making a full rotate around. But that could have been a huge opener here. Bales playing a much more dangerous game. The Zofia right outside. Had that barricade been broken, that could have been the opening pick. But it's all up to Red.
Bales is still inside of bottom garage as well. Right on Swamp. Spraying at a drone, making sure that they can't get easy intel onto Red. They also can't open the garage walls under Red either, thanks to the Electro Claws and Rafters. Cali will be the first to take a little bit of damage, and GXD will quickly find the first kill on Boji on the flank watch downstairs, holding Lounge. Now, there is the refrag. There's the Swamp player finding one kill. Red as well from Rafters taking out Junior, and though Cali is able to flush Red out back over towards R1, Jaeger is not dead. In fact, he's able to get the kill onto Cali as there's no info onto where he repositioned. Good hold from Red and Rafters, and he is primarily responsible for this round falling apart from no plants. It's just Donkey and Blanky. One downstairs by garage, one up on the plat wall breach. And are they going to be able to clutch up this 2v4 with the positions they currently hold? I honestly doubt it. One nade does go up. That is a good kill from Blanky, so you're able to take Rafters. But 3 players still left in sight, 2 of which have C4, and Joe still has 3 gas canisters. You've only got 45 seconds left to push as well as the time starts to tick down. Blanky's going to take that time to try and drone in. Donkey makes a break for it down Red Hall. It's taken out by Bales, but I guess he does find a 1-for-1 as Joe TKs. It's a 1v2 now for Blanky. Only 30 seconds left. He does have Diffuser in hand. He's able to wallbang box just a little bit. Still got to fight against this hold, though. He doesn't have the time to use his Maverick Torch to spray in, so he'll just jump right through the window. Making the push over towards the cash door. Nearly spots the Valkyrie as she throws up the C4, but she backs off just in time. Dealing a little bit more damage to Joe, but as he ducks through the rotate, Maverick will fall. Nemesis finds round number 2.
A beautiful take at that. They didn't pull any punches. As soon as they saw opposition on the lower floors, they backed off completely as an entire team. They played for the tried and true strategy of just backing off, letting the attackers push in uncomfortable positions, and playing a huge turtle game, and it worked out so effectively. The one sole exception had to have been Red on Rafters, and that's a huge default position to play too. So it completely makes sense to do so and hold that position, and it worked out really well for that pressure game.
Yeah, I mean, they just never took Rafters. GXD died on the Lounge flank watch, so it allowed Bales into garage to kill one. And Red was just never found. He was never pinned. So that was a really good play from the Jaeger. holding things down. Good assist from the Capitao downstairs. No Plants have already taken a primary bomb site, though. Have already taken church. Now we're going to go down there again. Hopefully for Nemesis's sake. I hate for Nemesis' sake.
Nemesi.
Hopefully for their sake. They'll be able to maybe hold off blue a little bit longer. Or if they do lose blue early and red goes down, I mean, they all peeked Donkey trying to take it back, and no one landed their shots.
Do you think maybe having one on the third floor and just kind of biding their time, waiting for maybe that generator push from Cali could be the way to go? Just kind of going down and collapsing upon them? That could be so much early pressure being brought through. And again, that Capitao on No Plants is going to be the crux of the entire strategy. And if he goes down, generator remains in the hands of Nemesis. They probably win 2 rounds in a row here.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. Usually when you see attackers taking a site like that, especially on Clubhouse, the defenders immediately are able to readjust and adapt and take it back. It seems like the adaptation for this round from Nemesis, instead of a Legion, they will opt to bring the Valkyrie, which I definitely think is a good change. They'll have the cam set up downstairs, got one watching blue to alert the generator player of any presence coming down by the oil pit hallway, so they'll be, of course, prepared for that flush. But it seems like No Plants have switched up their strategy a little bit. This time, going for the kitchen hatch instead. It is Electro Clawed, so if they want to open it, they will have to use that the ace trick. I don't know if you know about it, where you put so you know how the ace charge when you throw it kind of like extends?
Yeah.
So you can throw it on the floor next to the hatch to
Oh,
avoid
you used
the
to be able to do that
Electro
with
Claw.
Thermite, but you can do that too.
You can do that
Doesn't break it
now.
open.
The C4, though, that kills Donkey, will dispatch of the Electro Claw.
Dispatch more than just that.
It also fells the sledge, so it's definitely a worthy price to pay. Great opening pick there from Boji. A lot of pressure now relieved from Kitchen. And that impact trick also takes out one of the ace charges. GXD will have to use his very last one on the Kitchen dropdown, and now it won't be available to him if he wants to open Church Wall.
No, you have to rely on Blanky now, and you're going to have to rely on Blanky for just about all the other reinforcements on the entire site. Whether that be Moto Hatch, whether that be, like you said, Church Wall, everything now rests in the hands of so many different people. It's spread so thin. Junior pushing down again inside of main. What happened last time they were on Church was an early death against them. They're able to take down the Banshee. Might be able to rush in. No. Not a single piece of barbed wire in the way, but on top of the wall, through the other side, they're able to collapse upon him. And now he's only at 50 health. It's going to allow at least Junior to push in. No, Blanky's going to fall as well. Boji's able to find him from across the map. But even then, what about the others? Junior still found their way pretty snugly inside sight. But what about the other one? There's going to be one going down blue, but they're trying to go for a bit of a pinch. Crow, this is nasty. Junior and GXD able to make their way in, but get gunned down almost immediately. Trades throughout 4v2, but even then, they throw down so many bodies. It's a triple from Boji. It's going to leave Red, last one alive now. I'm sorry, no, Cali, last one alive. The Capitao, the fire used against them, able to collapse upon one, but right around the other corner, it's going to be the Jaeger. Might be able to find the shots. Smokes in hand, might be able to blind the way and go on through, but no, the Jaeger's already rotated out, and there's a body hiding in the doorway. Joey's able to find it instead.
Much better round there from Nemesis. No blue pinch means that the Jaeger, the Smoke, and even Boji, playing on box 2, can sit safe and sound. Boji was able to get one of those kills all the way down the long hallway. And even Kool-Aid Wall players, Junior trying to make a gambit through. It was almost successful, but unfortunately the Valkyrie position inside of Dirt finds not Junior, but GXD. Sure, Junior's able to trade out, but you've still got the Malusi behind box 2. And even if the Malusi died there, even if Boji had lost that fight, there was a second guy in Dirt, which I guarantee Junior just did not know about by the way he was playing it. So that round is done and dusted as soon as you killed the first 2 players. Much better hold from Nemesis. That opening sledge pick was definitely huge. And now, like you said, 2 rounds in a row from Nemesis. They'll try and complete that perfect start rotation, though. They've still got Jim.
I'm curious. I do like the Aruni pick. I actually, let me correct myself. I love the Aruni pick here. This could be really cool to see. I haven't actually been able to cast a Aruni yet, to be honest, and I'm really excited to see her brought out here. It's going to be a very small compartmentalized space, right? And so, depending on where those charges go, it's going to completely constrict where no plants can play. And it's kind of easy to get rid of the Aruni charges for a little bit, depending on where they go, but her fist is just so powerful, and it makes those impacts worth so much more. I love Aruni.
Aruni is cool. How do you feel that most competitive players use the Roni and not the DMR?
You know, I think they're missing out. I mean, the one thing is that the MK14 for Aruni doesn't have the 4x scope. I think that's a huge factor for it. So you can't play sniper. But Dokkaebi with the MK14 is just a magical gift.
Ooh. Roni goat.
I like the Roni too, but not well, I mean, yeah, for Aruni, but the MK14 is just so cool looking. Have you ever played the Phantom Pain? The Metal Gear game?
No, not yet, actually.
She's got the same arm as him, as the main character. Except in that game, he can shoot his fist out like a rocket.
We're gonna hear Aruni go, Colonel.
Metal Gear. Crow. Look at GXD. Pushing up. Repelled. It's gonna be a tough battle.
Alright.
I don't think I can do it the whole time. My voice will die.
Colonel, I'm opening the jacuzzi wall.
Snake. You have to make sure there's no enemies around. I can't do Colonel. My voice is too deep.
Trying to sneak. Thunder's clap on my ass cheeks keeps away the guards.
I was wondering when you would say it.
These Aruni gates are definitely interesting. They're not like the usual ones that I mentioned earlier. Remember we were talking about like when they do the gym hole and they do the cache extension. That's usually where we see the most of them. We've actually got one on the gym doorway into the bathroom hall.
Oh, Joey. This is scary. I mean, he's in a comfortable spot right now, Crow, but if anybody pushes up, that's literally a 50-50. Easy trade potential for no plants, but they have the diffuser at stake too.
Yeah, this is definitely a risky angle to take, especially with Joe holding that close with the M590. Certainly a very powerful shotgun.
No
but he
trades
goes to
needed.
throw a smoke. And Callie is he just walked in, no fear at all. So now down goes your smoke player as well as your bathroom player. Callie just gained a significant bit of ground, and Red gets caught on his run out by GXD. The attack obviously very aware of that. You've got two defenders cornered off inside of logistics, though. Judging by the way he's throwing the nades, I'm not quite sure if he knows Box is over inside the double door, inside the cubby. Boji trying to retake it as best he can. Here comes the push. Blanky goes down, diffuser in hand as well. That's not good, and no, Donkey didn't know. He goes down, but luckily Junior's there for the trade from Khan. It's a 3 versus 2, no plants with a one-man advantage. Here comes Bales trying to flank through. The Aruni gate turns off, that could reveal his location. His teammate goes down though, but he can't connect the second kill. You gotta hit your shots, Bales. Callie is extremely low, but he peeks around in the pre-fire, finds Bales. Nearly a clutch. But unfortunately, the low damage from the MP5K combined with the reduction because of the wall bangs left him unable to finish off the Twitch planting. A good attempt there, but no plants prevent the round from slipping away.
That round was all Callie, Crow. That was beautifully played,
he just
right?
walked in. No
Yeah,
fear.
just walked in. Perfect timing, it seems. Now, normally, I think Callie would have gone down to Joey, but then Joey would have been traded out immediately. Would have been the same results, but a different member of No Plant's side. But regardless of that fact, that was such a beautifully played round from Callie, being able to hold themselves down and take only necessary angles. And you're right. It was really good for them that the MP5 couldn't find the kill there, and they just whipped around, used the same rotate they found the opening pick with, and found that final mute. Now we just got to see that a few more times for the attack before we swap sides.
Yeah, and I mean, we do say, you know, especially in this meta, Clubhouse tends to be a 3-3, maybe even an attacker-sided map with a new meta. But if we're talking about classically, no plants have reached their minimum quota. They've got their 2 rounds. If they even take one more, they can consider themselves in pretty good standing moving into the second half. So Nemesis definitely want to take those last 2 consecutively onto Cash and then most likely Church next. This is where no plants really fell flat though, and it was all down to the garage presence from Red. We have a slight shake-up though. Max, we have a buck.
That's interesting. There's a lot of hypotheticals or whatever, what have you, about what you could do with this buck.
He's gonna go
I
to
j-
stock.
Yeah, most likely. I just want to see this go underway. It was the Nemesis aggro game in the quals, right, where we saw a buck come underway and was a huge determining factor, I think, for aggro getting into the league. But I'm curious because he's already going up towards Jacuzzi's side. This could be a gigantic, almost a roam clear from the other side of the map on second floor.
Boji's also bottom garage, and Bales is swamp. So the big part about this garage defense is not only was Red finding good kills, but Boji and Bales playing underneath him was able to waste so much time, and Bales was even able to find a pick. Boji does get significantly lit up by, I believe, GXD holding in secret window. So Boji will have to play just a little bit more passively going later in the round, but if he does survive towards the dying seconds, he does have a C4. Can play indirectly and deny that plant, which is definitely good. Red can hear the Maverick going to work below him. He'll be able to open the wall. Blanky trying to send a nade up. Or sorry, send a nade into Swamp, making sure that Bales isn't positioned there again. Red trying to take an angle against the player by the doorway. His feet get spotted, though. They now know he's moving all the way into the stair side of the rafters. Here's the Capitao Firebolt, though. And he gets trapped and swamped. Blanky, before that, though, gets the opening pick on the Bales. Actually, an even trade onto Bales. But again, because of that Capitao utility, that ends up with a one-man advantage for no plans.
Yeah, that's really tough to be holding Raptors at any position now with the new changes to Jaeger and having a Capitao on board. Maybe at times like this, you should just relinquish control of Raptors, or maybe even trying to have a risky rotate open to get control, or at least a view going into Garage. But that's not here or there. We'll have to wait for another round to see if that can go underway. But right now, full control for No Plans. They're able to get onto the site. Toxic Babes underway. Junior able to have some bolo holes potentially on the other side. But look how surrounding they are covered in the enemy. Junior pushing up now, has Donkey to have a free passage to go on the other way. One might be on red stairs, but through the wall, Junior's able to find Joey instead. That's gonna be one beautiful shot underway, but can they make that another? And almost, yes they can. Can't find the free flyers back. Heavily lit now on the Ash. Boji needs to go for a do or die movement, trying to go through, gets instantly knocked down by Junior yet again. The plant underway, trying to bring it down. No, they can't do it, and No Plants take the lead.
Wow, Junior going absolutely huge in that round. Was that a 3K for him?
I think it was 3.
I think that was 3. It was definitely at least 2, because he got that opening pick. He got the pick on Joe, and then, of course, the last one. Much better Rafters take. Not only do you have Blanky even trade with Bales on a 1-for-1, but Callie, using his firebolts after Red had already been lit up, caused the death of the Jaeger. Free Rafters control. Now, sure, the initial plant attempt gets knocked down. GXD, dead. You still have another player to move in. Callie picks up the diffuser as Junior is just in the middle of the site. Execute starts to go down. There's no C4 on the side of Nemesis. They're all out. And Junior gets the entry pick on that smoke to break the even odds. The Malusi feels... Actually, yeah, that was a 3K for Junior then. The Malusi feels very pressured. He's like, well, I mean, there's no way for us to indirectly deny. They have another guy in garage, or sorry, they have a guy hugging server rack while the other is planting. That means we can't move through the cache door. They've got a guy on plat wall. That means we can't flank red. Our only opportunity is to either flank garage, which is a major time commitment, or do the construction run out and try and peek through server window. Junior was ready for it. They must have had a drone in construction or something, because he was staring at that window like a hawk. Boji was 1 HP anyway, only one bullet needed to connect, and by then, it was a 1v3 for the Valkyrie, and Junior just won his fight. Really good play from the Ash there. Really good round start as a whole from No Plants, and they now take the lead.
This is going to be a tough one, too, and what a better site to end the first half on, right, Crow? Because we have a 50% win rate for both of these teams. We've seen it twice. NPL won the very first time, and then Nemesis took it back when we saw it again in round number 3. It's do or die right now for both of these teams, and sure, it's only the first half, but No Plants, like you said, are sitting so nice and comfortably, but Nemesis might be able to take it back a little bit more and bring things 3-3 and make sure neither team is fully comfortable. I'm curious though, because what we did see, that extension, like you mentioned before, and the last time we saw Church with the ace coming out from GXD, didn't quite go the way that Plants had hoped. If they can remedy that and find a new solution, or maybe not even go for it this time, we could see that 4-2 split instead. But we're going to have to wait and see where the execute's going to go underway, but the majority of Nemesis are all holding on to the site. They're not looking to play any games.
There's that hard breach charge from the Capitao. We haven't really talked about that a lot, but with the Hibana ban and the fact that Maverick and Ace are still up, those hard breach charges definitely come in handy. So Callie's able to get that blue hatch open. No Plants are going to go back to what worked in the original attack onto Church, although Junior does take a significant amount of damage thanks to the C4 from Boji. He's able to successfully avoid it for now. Boji definitely probably sour that he wasn't able to get that kill, but he'll persist in back Arsenal. No Plants might not expect this. Boji might just be able to get a little bit of a rat kill. GXD and Junior trying to double push down onto the church wall. That is
what? God!
Wow! What a nade from
some
Junior.
Sports to get that one. He got 2.
And then Blanky just finished it off. What kind of a bank was that?
He must have played a lot of Little League. I've never seen a grenade kill like that in my life in Siege, but holy, what an explosive beginning here for the round. Already having 2 bodies left on Nemesis' side. They have to really hold down the entire fort, make that one Boji, finding themselves in the midst of chaos. Need to find at least one to make it not flawless, but they're not even able to do that, and the first half is going to go very well in the favor of No Plants.
That went from a very even game to a very attacker-sided one. No Plants seemed like they were going to start off with what worked last time by opening up that blue hatch. They later only pushed 1 man down it. They didn't even really need the Capitao, I don't think.
No.
Kitchen hatch pressure was very short-lived after Junior decides not to go there anymore. Instead, it was that nade. I mean, dude, I saw that little ball like in the corner of the screen, and I was like, what the hell is that? Oh! And then Blue bails up. And then Blanky followed it up. He was able to finish it off. That created the opening the attack needed. In comes the blue push. Zofia finds one. She's now behind box 3, putting pressure on both Red and Boji. The Jaeger and the Melusi are stuck back Arsenal. Whoever else was playing Church died to, I believe... was it GXD? I think was able to find the second kill. So, you know... No Plants just had, like, pressure points everywhere. That was extremely well done.
We need a protractor for the replays because that was unimaginable coming out there. That was Esca level. I was so impressed.
That was really... It was really funny, too.
You remember in Wii Sports where, like, you could press the buttons on the remote and change the different curveball? That's how it felt.
Yeah. Like, you'd hold A for a screwball, you hold B for a curveball.
Oh, good lord. That was unbelievable here. But I'm really curious to see what Donkey's going to bring out this round. We haven't seen a dedicated roamer coming out from Nemesis on the defense. We did see, of course, roam potential, but we haven't seen anything on the likes of Vigil in the entire series. I think it's going to be cool to see what he can do in logistics, put a lot of early pressure in the kitchen as well. But Junior and Donkey are going to be the main heroes of this defense.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point to focus on. The fact that Vigil is going to be sitting up into Logi. If they don't, or sorry, not up in Logi, but up in Cash. He can easily rotate to Logi, though. And of course, he's probably got those holes down onto the kitchen hatch. If anyone tries to breach it or play under it, they could easily fall victim to that hole made by the Vigil. So hopefully Nemesis are aware of that. I mean, as soon as you walk into kitchen, you'll see the hole in the ceiling. So I certainly hope they'd be aware of that. Bale's very nervous about this gym hatch, as there are roamers, again, from No Plants upstairs. Well, one, singular. There is a roamer from No Plants upstairs. So Donkey will now position himself inside of Logi, knowing that the attack is not coming from the garage side of things. He won't really be able to find any free picks there. It is going to be a push. Box finds the first frag as they open up the blue hatch. Now goes Junior, your generator player.
Oh, and losing Junior is going to be so tough. But look at Red, though, in a prime position. Donkey's going to fall, too. The two heroes we mentioned, Caster cursed it away. And full control goes underway for Nemesis, able to bring it down to a 5v2. Battlefield ensues underway. The pressure, the map pressure, no less, on the sides, going distinctly in the favor of Nemesis' sides. Barely able to stay alive. The two SAS operators need, able to hunker down, but only down to Blanky Yodo. Last one alive now, trying to find one inside mains, able to make it a triple. Can he find two more?
Ooh,
he needs to ace it out. Plan about to go underway, Crow. 44 seconds left. He has to pull it through. SMG 11 in hand. He might have to go for a full rotate, possibly down through blue if he has time to do it, but he still has to find two bodies to do so. Moto's not going to be an option. It's not open. He has to go down blue, but Joe waiting just in time like clockwork, sees it drop and takes down his knees. That's going to be Nemesis taking the first attack.
Wow. Really well played by Nemesis there. I mean, not only being able to take out both of the aggressive players on the roam, Junior should not have died to the hatch there. I don't know how that happened. Maybe they caught him on the rotate back because we saw him on secret stairs. Maybe he just over-peaked behind Generator. But either way, losing Junior means that blue presence is free. Losing Donkey means that Nemesis no longer have to worry about an early flank. They rush into blue, storm into behind the Generator, take out the site players. It's just your smoke. And I mean, Blanky, valiant attempt, got 3 kills, but being so low on time because the plant has gone down means he's got to rush over to the blue hatch, which means he's sprinting, which means he's loud. Joe just backed off, knew he was going to drop, and that was easy as they come. Good job, Joe.
But with that being said, though, it was a 4-2 split, and now we're going to be seeing things at 3-4. Crow, do you think they can bring it back to an even scoreline?
Yeah, potentially. I think it's still too early to call.
Okay.
No Plants did, of course, take 3 rounds in a row on their attack, so maybe Nemesis can do the same. We'll just have to see. No Plants now going on to Cash, and this is the first time I've seen a Rooney on Clubhouse not on a gym defense. I'm going to be very interested to see where Callie allocates his Rooney gates. So he's got 1 on con wall,
2
with an open con wall, 1 on server window, and the last one...
I'm not entirely sure.
It's down.
Maybe on Raptors window? I'm not sure. No.
Where's the third one? Definitely put it down.
Could it be like
Right,
in the
he's got
soft wall?
one on
Yeah,
one on
no,
server
he's definitely
window.
did.
Server window, condor.
Chat's probably like, it's right there, Crow!
Wait, go back to con. Is it on the master door? Or the con window?
No. Yes.
not
Yes,
on
it is.
the-
Yes, it is. I think because he's standing in it, it's going to disable for a little bit and have like those sparkles.
It doesn't have, it
I'm
doesn't have the
blind.
little thing
As a
up top.
bat.
Where the hell is the other Aruni gate? He
Someone's
put it
probably already
down.
found it. It's like, where's Waldo? I have no idea.
Is it on Logi?
No.
No, it's not on trash wall. Oh wait, is it on garage? It's not on garage window, I don't think.
Oh, I see it. I see it. It is on the reinforcement between Raptors and site. You see it on the reinforced?
Oh, it's on the reinforcement. Okay.
Oh, that is a weird one.
Yeah, why?
I don't know how I feel about that.
I
Why not
guess
just
if
put it on
they-
the soft. Yeah, but
'cause-
they're not going to open that up necessarily. They'll just use the soft breach, won't they?
Well, okay, the reason why you open up the reinforcement is because the default C4 then hits the rafters instead of the
Okay.
planter. So I mean,
Yeah, but
you can
no.
still just
Well,
open it
would
and then
that
go through
burn
the soft
the
wall.
Rooney?
No, you can still just. I mean, you can just still just like open the reinforcement and then go through the soft wall.
True. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
It might not even matter. They're not even pushing through Raptors necessarily. Joe finds the opening pick against GXD, and still a lot of control, especially Junior having it inside of Raptors itself. The majority of the push is completely ignoring Raptors. They've gone every single avenue they can without heading into where that questionable Rooney is. Junior trying to find that opening or that last pick with an inch of life he has left in himself. Boji, if he pushes up anymore, might be able to find the trade, but no, everybody's falling at once. Nemesis, I think you're right, Crow, might be able to make this 2 in a row. 4v1, Blanky, last one alive yet again, trying to find their way at the bottom of East. Not able to find too much luck with the SMG-11. They've been put in a very tight spot, and there's not a lot of rotate potential, unlike in Church, and they're going to fall right on the stairs.
Here we go. 2 in a row from Nemesis. Excellent take into construction. They had a free wall open as well. Only half construction was reinforced. Joe was able to find the first pick through that on the GXD. You had plat pressure too. Zofia nearly getting the kill onto the Rooney as her back was turned, but it was just enough to take out the Jaeger of Junior as the players started to push into the cache doorway. Red Stairs player fell as well. It was just Blanky in a 1v4, and at that point, stuck on Red Stairs. It's pretty much impossible. No Plants have now lost the lead they had accrued in the first half of this map, and that is looking good for Nemesis. They've strung 2 attacks in a row. No Plants are going to keep us on our toes, though. Not going back to Church, not going back to Cache. Instead, just opting for the tertiary bomb site. Swapping it up. We're going to go to Jim. No more Aruni, but instead we've got Callie on the Goyo.
We haven't seen Goyo yet. Actually, we have it on this half. I think we did see it in the first half. But on Jim? Did we see it on Jim? I don't think we did.
Did we see what?
Goyo.
From Nemesis?
Yeah, when they were on the defense on Jim. No, because if they did, because they would have had protection inside bathroom. They had the rotate, but nothing there. No
they
shields.
were running Jaeger, Aruni.
There's no way you can remember. There's no way.
It was Jaeger, Aruni, Smoke, Valk, and one other. I assume the other was like Malusi or something.
I think it was Malusi.
Yeah, something like that. Close enough.
Eh.
What matters is that
operators.
they didn't have Goyo.
No, they didn't. But no control in bathrooms this time. Sure, the sides and teams are completely different on the defense, but it really goes to show the priorities that No Plants have on the defense here. Primarily, they're holding their entire defense inside of CCTV and Cache, preventing anyone to go through on Raptors or even East Wall, especially Goyo. Holding down on East. This is a pretty default position, I would say, on the defense, but not a single body on Nemesis is looking towards Jacuzzi at the moment. Of course, we are seeing Bales rotate around. That could change momentarily, but even then, there's an Electro Claw right on top of it. It's going to be very tough to open their way in and really crack the nut to get into the building itself. It's a tough one, Crow.
Are there? Oh no, never mind. Dude, I just tabbed. I forgot that I had the Twitch stream up instead of my vMix feed. And I was like, why are there 4 people huddled around the same wall? But that was because they were reinforcing it. Junior is going to jump out of con window and fell 2 of the attackers within our first minute 15. They were so preoccupied with Jim Window and making sure that Joe could make it safely in the building that they got completely shut down. And Callie is just going to peek up over the weight rack because there's no more presence on the window and kill Joe on the breach. That one jump out from Junior, not only does it kill 2 players, but it is completely round changing position-wise, allows Goyo to play there, and allows him to get that pick onto Joe. It's just red and box now in a 2 versus 5. And the nade gets pulled, it gets burned, that alerts GXD to the position of the Maverick, and he just swings the hatch. Now it's red. 1 versus 5, ace clutch situation. Blanky shoots his drone. He'll be able to recover the diffuser, but is that going to be enough? Taking a tight angle, he wins the fight against Blanky as he's damaged a little bit by GXD. So that's 1 kill. He'll deny the flawless from No Plants, but he's got 50 seconds to work with and 4 kills to find, and he's stuck outside this breach. All the defenders have to do is hold 90-degree crossfires. They're not even going to wait for him. Callie peeks up again over the weight rack and finds the Ash exactly where he found the Maverick. Sorry, the Ace.
The only time we've seen these really decisive plays that are round changing have quite literally only been on Jim. We did see some Capital plays early on from Callie, I believe, that were pretty close. But in terms of just getting these raw kills, completely all on Jim.
I just can't believe they let you do that.
To be fair, though, would you really be expecting it if you've gone how many rounds without really any kind of jump outs? Like 22 rounds?
That is true, I guess.
But you still need a Claymore. No? Oh, Crow, look at this, right? You're foregoing the Kaid and you go for the Vigil instead. This is a spicy 6th pick. I don't know how I feel about this because the Kaid Electro Claw has been proven to be super effective before, especially on Kitchen Hatch. It really baited out the C4 especially, but now we're foregoing pretty much any kind of reinforcement denial besides the Mew Jammers. And Donkey hasn't really been shown to be an effective vigil when it came to Church earlier on either. Junior and Donkey were the first ones to go down, and Nemesis ransacked their way all over Church.
Yeah, last time, I mean, that blue take was something fierce, and it was due to a little bit of an overextension by Junior. I don't imagine Junior will do it again. We've got a, kind of a semi-SSG roam. GXD and Donkey playing with that drone denial upstairs, and...
Well, I was proven wrong.
How did Donkey just get that?
Oh.
How did...
That had to have been through the wall.
Was that,
right?
yeah, was that through the garage wall?
That had to have been. There's no other way, because he didn't run out.
And he was in rafters when he got that. Wow. Okay.
Holy. That was already proven
Moss?
wrong. Don't listen to me.
Moss, please? That's incredible from Donkey. And you take out Zoph? That's a pretty damn good pick. And now, Nemesis lose one of their entry fraggers, one of their important utility clearers, though you do have plenty of nades and the Ash still on the board. You still got Donkey upstairs. GXD will fall back, leaving his vigil alone. They pretty much figured that now they can play for the 1-for-1. Because, I mean, if Donkey can get one more kill and trade himself out, that's a 2-for-1 advantage for No Plans.
I'm wondering now, sure, the Zophia's gone. It's not the end-all, be-all for the push coming up from Nemesis, but it's still a huge blunder for them. They have to really think about their resource potential a little bit more. And we do see Box probably looking to maybe drop down immediately into Moto, but losing down on the artillery, and not only that, also the gunplay from Boji 2 going 6 and 10 has been really strong for Nemesis, and they lose out on that. And Donkey still completely unaccounted for on top of Jim.
Oh, dude, if he drops this hatch right now,
He could.
he could get a free pick. They've got absolutely no clue he's here. I think they figured that he might have fallen back along with GXD. He's still the vigil, so if they drone him, might not
Box's
see
prime
him.
target.
Box looks like he's squeamish about it though, right? He's looking at the stage hatch, like perhaps I can still be collapsed upon, but here's the drop, and there you go. Free pick onto the Maverick. Excellent play by Donkey. Now a double kill in the round. He's been spotted out, so they know he's up there, and he'll quickly be felled, but like I said, 2 for the price of 1. Not only did he get the entry pick, but he also traded himself out again, so it's Red Bells and Joe in a 3 versus 4. 50 seconds left. We're sub 1 minute, and they've lost their Maverick and their Zoph. Red is going to try and make something happen onto that wall. Blow up the position being held by Junior. Interesting that they're keeping Church Wall soft, but it'll work to Junior's advantage. Through the hole he created, he'll find one, but Joe finds his 3rd pick of the round. Down go both Junior and Blanky, and the round is turned on its head. It's just Callie and GXD in a 2 versus 2. If they lose this, it'll all be down to Joe's brilliant play and the heroics from the ace. Bales is now positioned behind Black Box. He's waiting for Joe to try and push through this wall, but he's scared of that angle being held by Callie. He could potentially make a hero play through the Kool-Aid wall if he blows it up. If he goes right now, he could find the sledge. He'll blow it up. There it is. There's the kill on the Bales. It's a 1v2. Joe's just going to stick the plant, though. 1 versus 2 post, but Joe is very low on HP. They should know he's behind Black Box. The fire will reveal his position, and Callie gets his 2nd. Joe, great play. 3 kills in the plant, but it's not enough as his teammates all fall around him. No plants. Take map point yet again.
Oh, and this is going to be a big one for No Plans. I believe, again, on the community poll, they were seen more highly this time. They had a 59% percentage of coming out on top here. When they went up against D2E, Crow, do you remember what the scoreline was for the percentage and the predictions? D2E was slated to win by 80%.
Wow.
80. And No Plans came out on top. 59% is going to go into the favor of No Plans going into this series too, and there might be good reason for that. They won map 1, and maybe a little bit less convincingly right now, depending on how this next round goes, but they have map 2 already locked and loaded in their sights, and they've been changing things up every single round.
This is dire straits for Nemesis now. We're going back to Cash. So granted, this is the site that Nemesis were successful attacking. But, the issue here is we go back to cash, right? If Nemesis win this, then one of the other 2 sites that No Plants has won, Jim, will unlock again. And it can, you know, map could end right there. Oh.
There's a lot at stake.
Yeah, No Plants, they could potentially find a 2-0 and spike to the top of the group. Of course, you know, the other teams still have to play. But this could be a huge 6 points for No Plants if they find at least a round within the next 2. Nemesis, I mean, I feel like Nemesis can definitely take this round. My eyes are probably going to be on the next one.
Yeah, it's definitely not out of the woods yet for No Plants, right? Nemesis, they were able to take CCTV pretty convincingly last time we saw them on the attack here, and they need to recreate that magic. But No Plants have been really good, especially on the defense, going for those counter plays and really adapting around what didn't work for them time and time again. But look at Callie, though. Hiding way, way far away at the bottom where no roamer could probably ever get cleared out. It's going to be an interesting play there, and I'm wondering if that's going to be a huge beneficial one, or if it's going to be a lack of a single defender on the site, and what could be a very aggressive play from Nemesis could be an ultimate blunder. We have to wait and see how things go, because we see garage door already opening up. One on the other side, though, may be able to find the headshot across onto box, but no, not going to take the shot just yet. Blanky has a great position right now to maybe find 1 or 2 different attackers, but instead, Callie rotating back up. Blanky might have to go for the shot, but not yet.
Oh,
he is. Oh, he's inching.
dude,
He is
so
teasing us so much. We don't deserve this.
I think once he peeked out, there was a shot from, I think, the Capitao that scared him off.
Oh,
he's
gonna go for it again.
Find the Maverick. Oh, dude, I want it to happen so bad. He's pre-firing over.
He
but
had
Box,
the pre-fire, but moved.
Yeah, Box is playing very cautiously now that he knows that there's possibly someone by Swamp. He's got the extra cover of the Capitao too. Blanky is going to peek yet again, but we aren't able to find anything. The plat wall has been opened, so Joe over here can cut off anyone inside of server. Callie, as you mentioned earlier, is still in the basement. In fact, he's in Oil Pit, otherwise known as the Mr. B spot. If anyone tries to make their way up the garage stairs, they'll surely fall victim to that Valkyrie. But Junior, player inside of Rafters itself, goes down to none other than Joe. Joe has been having a heater of a game on Clubhouse, the rising star for his team right now. And I think Valkyrie, did he just let Joe go up there?
He did.
He let the ace get up.
Ace and another
and
one.
the Capitao knows.
No, they know about Mr. B spot. It's a 5v3 now. Crow, things are getting hot and tense. You might be right. We might have to look to the next round to see if that's going to be the make or break for No Plants. A 5v2 now. Joe's able to find another one. Not going to be flawless anymore on Nemesis's end, but the Toxic Babes have to stave off the attack as long as they can. Look at that. Blocking off the diffuser completely. East air is no longer an option 2. It's going to be a whole bunch of angles being held by everybody on Nemesis, but they have the man advantage. 2 left alive, huddled on A site, hiding behind the indestructible chassis. They have to make a decision, and that might be death, and that's what death takes. 3v1 now. Donkey still left alive. Has to push on forward. Might be able to deny the plan, but putting themselves in a rough position. Now they have to go for it, but Donkey might be able to do it. A 3K already. Having it to 1v1. Hiding around, ring around the rosy. Ashes, ashes. They all fall. Nemesis keep themselves in the game a little bit longer.
That was almost incredible from Donkey there. Wow. A 3K on the round for him, I believe. Yeah, because GXD had the first. Almost clutched it. Oh, he was this close. Unfortunately, he was just way too low HP from his earlier engagements. It was just one shot from the pistol of red that put him down. Great attempt, though. However, all in all, Nemesis, again, with a brilliant Rafters take. I mean, killing Junior. The Callie letting Ace get up into Rafters, and then the Capitao just knowing. So you have 2 free picks already. Transition to your site take. I actually don't remember how the third guy died.
It was just a blur, Crow. We've already blocked it out of our memories.
Oh, it was Blanky.
Oh, never mind.
I remember it was Blanky. I don't remember how Blanky died. I do remember the 2v4, though. GXD was able to kill Joe vaulting in, but he quickly died to the player on the server window. And from there, it's just Donkey. Sure, he was able to battle back as best he could, but again, low HP, 1 pistol shot puts him down. Red prevents it from slipping out of their control. So, We now move on to the second map in a row, final round of regulation. This will either be a 7-5 win for No Plants or OT from Nemesis.
The tensions are high right now. And we said that on CCTV last time. It's only getting more and more rough right now for both teams. Either we're going to see overtime or No Plans come out with another 2-0 tonight. There's no two ways about it here. I'm curious to see what the Aruni can do here on CCTV again. I feel like last time we saw Aruni, it didn't really add a whole lot for the defense. But that could change given maybe some slight changes where the walls go. But they look like they're just about in the same spots, but I could be mistaken. Very slow round 2 coming out from Nemesis' side.
No!
Never mind. Oh! That is so How? Oh, okay. There was a skin on.
Oh, he had a skin?
I forgot that was like
he's got the season pass skin.
He does. I forgot that was that's not her default.
Dude,
it's just so pretty looking.
That is so unfortunate. And now you've lost Blanky. Now the thing is though, No Plants have won this site before, but this time they'll have to do it from a 4v5. And Bales gets the kill onto Junior. You've got two people underneath Cash looking for this pick. Donkey can't find it just yet, and he's actually felled by the Ash. It looks like without that early 2K from Junior, this site is not nearly as stalwart as it was in their previous attempt. Just GXD and Cali, 2 versus 5. Red X is just 1 HP, but GXD is now downed and finished off as they push into Master. Goyo's trying to flank from Red, but he lands none of his shots and is very lit up himself, and they know exactly where he is. And Nade tries to clean him up. It's unsuccessful. It doesn't really matter as the plant does go down from Joe. He tries to retake construction and Box finishes him off. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to overtime.
An interesting way of going to overtime, too. I guess we'll never really know whether or not the Aruni would have made a big difference, but given how fast that push was from Nemesis, I think it would have been the same result.
I can definitely see that.
But overtime, this is the first time we're seeing it in this entire series. I think this is the first time I'm casting overtime in CCS Season 5 too. I am curious to see how the attacks are going to go underway here. We've seen both teams really step it up in terms of droning out and intel, but these weird niche operators, well, niche and quotation marks for the series, like Vigil, really turned the tides a lot.
Yeah, they every so often this match has seen like an off pick that's dictated the course of a round. I haven't seen it from Aruni yet though, unfortunately. It's going to be Cash CCTV from Nemesis on the very first round of overtime. What was their record on this site? They had a 1. Well, they were 1-1. So it's not a guarantee. Or at least it's not a theoretical guarantee. No Plants do have a chance. So Nemesis, hopefully they've shored up their defense from the last time they defended it. They started off with a win. Next time they attempted, No Plants were able to successfully attack it. And that was down to Junior getting into server and killing 3 people. And No Plants are able to take Rafters, again, as easily as they did last time, thanks to that really good Capital play. I'm worried for Nemesis' chances, at least in this round, like isolated in particular. But they do have the Valkyrie from Box. They do have a bit more intel. They can maybe play better for that C4, etc. But right now, just with how the sides have gone, No Plants are looking like they're going to be in the advantage for at least the first round.
Yeah, statistically speaking, there is no team that really can come out on top here. I'm curious to see if that's going to go and work out effectively for them. Beginning of the round, though, we are going to see an early drone war coming out from GXD. Not a whole lot to really find in the beginning here, but the roam is going to be important. We did see a huge event at the beginning on Garage Wall earlier when we had seen Blank Yoda go for the same exact play, but this time we see a lot more people pushed up in Garage directly, especially Boji. Another one was Bales not too long ago, who was hiding around the lip connecting Garage to the rest of the map, but that didn't really come to be. In fact, that was a hotly contested area for a while, but Boji find themselves completely almost by the remaining Nemesis team. It's going to be up to the rest of Nemesis and No Plants now whether or not they want to keep pushing the way they want to, or if we're going to see something different. And something different we are. We're going to be seeing Junior take a solo expedition through Secret. Not detected just yet, but through the wall again. Donkey's able to find another nasty penetration shot on the Boji. Unfortunate 2 in a row now. Beautiful work. The Malusi's gone. Well, minute 45 left. You have to watch out. Down 2 bodies. Nemesis, as Crow said, having to be careful. They seem like they might be on a bit of a rickety edge right now, and already having a body gone only expedites that further. The rest now pushing their way through the Raptors. Red holding the top of Raptors. Still able to stay alive. Callie's coming in from below, so it's not immediately going to be the Capital Bulls. Box coming there for life support. But here we go. Let's see what happens next. On fires and flames, Box is able to survive, getting the C4 from below. And Crow, a minute 16 left. You missed another beautiful penetration shot coming out from Donkey. He is just a master of those.
Damn. We might really have to check the Moss.
From stock, penetration shot through the wall connecting to garage takes Boji down below Raptor stairs.
Wow.
Holy moly. But
that is really good.
That is really good. But there's a minute left in the round, and things are taking a tide for the worse on No Plan's side. Originally, the opening pick went against Nemesis, but that's the only body they've lost. Now, 2 gone already on the sides of No Plans. They have to push in now or never. 40 seconds left, turns that to a 4v2. Bullets wailing down everyone in Raptors. And even though some control has been gained inside of Raptors, bodies are still churning away like butter in a mill. Box holding down, not been spotted just yet, is able to spot the diffuser. 3v1 now. Donkey, last one alive, needs to pull it through and to make sure they have this lead going to what could very well be overtime match point. Pushing through, knows the area should be somewhat clear, but down below, Veils looks away right at the wrong time. Donkey could use it to advantage, but he gets the pre-fire instead, able to find Box as well. Donkey's an absolute madman. Veils looking to see, he has to force his way to rotate through. If he takes Eastern Stairs, this could be the chance to take down Donkey, this monster, and bring it to their advantage. But Donkey's been intrusive too. Joey finds it, and Nemesis, for the first time in a while, take the lead.
All right, great holdout by Nemesis. Mostly down to that Rafters hold. Sure, we had the opening kill from Donkey on Boji, but like you said, up until that mid-round, that was kind of it. No Plants tries to storm through, and Red fells one of the pushers. Sure, there's a refrag, but there's enough coverage inside the site onto Rafters and from the Valkyrie over by the window that, I mean, that just doesn't really matter. As they try and make their way up, they're all just felled one by one. Excellent play there from Nemesis. And now, the pressure's on No Plants. Again, it's been an attacker-sided map so far, as we're kind of used to seeing Clubhouse be under this current meta. So, Nemesis definitely in the advantage by taking that really desperately needed attacking win. Go on to Church for No Plants. Remember we were talking about those niche operators coming into play and being the round changers? I wonder if Donkey's Alibi is going to do that.
I love Alibi too. Araya DeLuca.
Okay.
That's her name.
Yeah.
She's cool. I like her beret and her scarf. Yeah. At one point, I think up to Parabellum, I had all the operators memorized. Like, I used to be able to cast just saying the names of the operators, like their full names. I'm glad I can't do that anymore. I think I got hit in the head. Like Ash, I think, is Elizabeth. Maverick is Mark. Sledge is Seamus. Zofia is Zofia. Ace? I don't know. Is it not?
No, it is.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. You got that one right.
Okay, whew, I got scared for a second. The defenders, I don't remember as much.
Scared you were going to look like a fool?
Right? Like, it's just so
I know Smoke is Mark... Or, sorry, Smoke is James Porter.
Right.
Mute is Mark something. Castle is Miles. Why did GX... Alright, I think that must have been a fat finger. GXD's name is Tyson.
This is primarily through Strip.
Yeah, they're just moving in horizontally. They know the top 2 floors are clear, so they can just go on through. Unless Donkey's upstairs. Donkey might be upstairs. I didn't actually see. I think he is.
He has to be.
Yeah, there's only 4 people down on site.
Yeah, he's got to be playing that same logistics area he did with Vigil.
Where is...
Oh.
I would imagine so.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did I see that right with GXD?
What?
Was he trapped in that little cage in the back?
I didn't see.
Oh.
No.
Oh, wow, okay. I'm losing my mind.
Why did Junior push main stairs?
Oh, yeah, these are some really interesting pushes coming up from them, too.
They have the church wall soft again. I still don't really understand why. Like, it worked that one time, but now that no plants aren't going to be like, oh, holy crap, the church wall is soft. Like, I just don't think it's going to work in your favor. I mean, Joe is lit. Bales is lit. Joe is now dead, thanks to GXD's peek through Kool-Aid wall. So I guess you do trade 1 for 1, and you do lose the ace. Good refrag from no plants. Still got Donkey upstairs, ready and waiting for a flank. Bale's trying to solo push down blue. There's no one actually behind Generator for him to deal with. Donkey trying to make his presence known upstairs as Blanky finds the shot onto box. Bales also goes down, finished off by Callie. Now it's Red and Boji. In a 2 versus 4, No Plans has certainly turned this round on its head. Red is still upstairs hunting this alibi, and he can't win the fight just yet. He finally takes down Donkey. Boji still waiting at bottom main for his teammate to join him. They do have a bit of time to play with. They've got 45 seconds to regroup, reconsider their options. And look at the utility on the side of the defense. They've got no smokes and they've got no C4. Callie doesn't have C4's Malusi. He's got impacts. So if Nemesis can figure out a way to isolate this player in church and go for this plant, there's no way that no plants are going to be able to deny it indirectly. They'll spot the back of Blanky. He goes down, but in the meantime, Red is on the floor. 20 seconds left. I don't think Boji has enough time to actually recover him. That's a great impact from Callie, taking away the cover of the minibar. Boji is going to go for the res. There's only 12 seconds left, and now there's an angle on Tomoto, if that's where they choose to come in. GXD is trying to try and join his teammate over. Great headshot, long range. It's just Red now on 20 HP. 3 seconds left, and this round is over. We are once again tied.
Is it? Yeah, it's over.
Yes.
There's no way. Oh, well, we might be here for a while, Crow. I mean,
Man,
no plans stepped it up.
I'm going to run out of space in my notebook.
Yeah. See, my problem with notebooks is that my handwriting is so big and messy that I have to keep flipping through so many pages.
I have like each line on the paper is dedicated to 1 round. So I've only got 3 lines left. So I hope this map ends soon.
I mean, the way things are going, I think we could see the tide swing one way or another here, but we're going to have to see that this round. I think whoever wins this next round could probably take the whole series. We are going to be going back to Jim, though. This is going to be interesting. We do see the Vigil possibly being 6th picked out, and I think that would be a good idea to see for a more applicable Valkyrie. Having more of that intel is going to be huge, and Vigil, while great, probably not the best for Jim given how tight-knit it is.
Jim is definitely going to be interesting. So they are bringing the Aruni back. That's cool. I like seeing Aruni. I feel like we haven't really seen her used to her fullest extent just yet. So more experimenting to go. So remember, the one round that we saw at Chanka was on, it was Oregon between Vale and PDHM. Man, I was so excited. I was like, yo, we're finally going to see Chanka. Let's go. And it's Frozen. You remember all those videos Frozen put out on Twitter and YouTube of like all the cool tricks you could do with him? And then Frozen he shot 1 flame and died. And I was so sad. We haven't seen Chanka since. But, you know, luckily we get one of them. We get a Rooney. Boji going to be playing with her. Interesting that they've been bringing the bulletproof cam and not the barbed wire. I guess figuring that they have that 2 is enough from the Jaeger. And they, you know, would like extra intel with that Valkyrie. So we saw Boji put up all 3 already. One of them on the Condor to Master. One of them, I believe, on that red door. And one on the garage window?
I believe so.
Something like that.
Some of the Aruni charges we've seen in this series have been kind of questionable. But
it is on
East.
It is on red door. Master door.
The Roonies haven't really been that effective too. It does waste some utility. It does slow down the attack a little bit more, but they haven't really made or broke the way No Plans or really any team that brought out the Roonies opposite has gone for the push. But it slows it down. It does burn the utility, and that within itself could be a changing factor. Already, server walls can be opened up. GXD holding the angle, waiting for someone like maybe Red to push out very eagerly, but no, he's be holding down tight. The rest of the push, though, is not going to be on the eastern side of the map. It's in fact probably going to be Jacuzzi side, with the Mavericks slowly trying to open up that Jacuzzi wall. Now, we have seen this work successfully before, Crow, but Joey holding that same spot again might not be able to get his lucky twice, especially with the soft wall not existing anymore on Bathroom.
Yeah, so Joe locked in there. Maybe getting flashbacks to when Callie walked in.
That could have been so huge too. Like that wasn't a bad position for Joe to be in. It was just horrible timing.
I mean, Callie could just... I mean, there's nothing to stop Callie from walking in and putting a hard breach charge down on the wall. So there is that. That's an angle from Junior. He'll spot the Jaeger going by, but you can't win the shot. That's too slim of an angle. You would have to have like the reaction time of a god in order to hit that as the Jaeger runs by. But they do know that he's sitting behind the metal panel on the Condor. We're still on a 5v5, and there's only a minute left in this round. The Maverick has made his way in. He'll open up the line of sight, and wow, Joe is just going to get slammed. Opening pick goes the way of Callie again. Your bathroom player goes down early. Your smoke goes down early. And it's a 5v4 for No Plants as they're starting to set up for their execute. This is a huge position from Bales, though. He can watch anyone moving through the doorway. C4 goes out, and it will drop Blanky. Down goes your Maverick. Callie is stuck outside the breach alone now with no support. Donkey is on the window. Look at the position from Box. If anyone tries to jump in either of those windows, they are surely a dead man thanks to that Valkyrie, as Bales tries to push up the master stairs. He's going to be tasked with locking off that breach. Here's the jump in, but somehow Box loses that. Donkey goes down on the hatch, though, over towards Logi. Boji fells him, but the Capital wins his fight by the main hall, and it's all over, as GXT was able to find the Jaeger by Khan, and Junior finds the last kill. That setup from Nemesis, they had every angle covered, and then Junior jumping in, GXT pushing from the back, and Capital winning his fight by main causes everything to fall apart. Doesn't matter how good your setups are, doesn't matter how good your angles are, if you can't win your fights.
And it's not even like, well, Junior's done that twice now on Jim. First was when he was the Jaeger, jumped out of con window, got the double kill, and secured the round essentially for himself through that. But now, doing essentially the reverse with Ash, that might be what it takes. And we're going to see Jim again, of course, now with them on the defense themselves, on No Plants. That's going to be huge to just gun straight for it. They seem most comfortable on this site, and oh no.
Frost.
That is a Frost.
On Jim bedroom.
Frost, I love Frost. I keep thinking of, oh, she's so, Crow. She's cool.
She hits like a freaking bus.
Like ice.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but I mean, we've seen some nasty stuff with Frost in recent time. We've seen crazy angles or crazy usage of the traps or her utilities and guns inside a theme park and pro level play. In other tier 3, tier 2 tournaments, we've seen it work effectively well in Villa. But now, I don't think we've really seen too much of it inside of Gym. This might be uncharted territory to an extent, but this is just not an operator we really see on the site.
I feel like if we ever see her on Clubhouse, though, it is this site.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting.
I love that.
So if they
we have seen that.
Yeah,
we
so
have
if they
seen that,
jump
yes.
through... So Con window, Logi vault rotate, and Gym window. Those are your primary, like just entrances once you've taken control from Nemesis. So I like those spots. Those could definitely be good. No Plant still wanting to put a lot of stake by their cash roam, even having someone play downstairs. Donkey's got the C4. This will be interesting. Nemesis need this round too. No Plant. So the thing about Infinite OT, like we have in SCS, is you have to have a 2-round lead on your opponent in order to straight up win. If you're down a round, that means you need to win 3 in a team who's done that so far in this game. Or sorry, both teams have done that so far in this game, but No Plants did it much longer ago. Nemesis 3 wins in a row was way more recent, and No Plants are about to bring it back. They won Church, they won Gym. Now they've got to win another defense.
Callie has such a power position right now. Might not be able to see anyone immediately, but 2 pushing up through server wall. He's going to be rotating out instead. Excuse me, rotating out instead. I really wish Callie had stuck to the top of East. That could have been huge, but now Red down below. This is some interesting positioning coming out from Callie, trying to probably go back to site, realizing they may have been outnumbered and outmaneuvered. It's the safer option to bring, but it could have been a huge potential for Nemesis to lose so many bodies to begin with. But now look at Bales, holding the top outside comm window, trying to find some crazy angles yet again, but No plans are none the wiser. They don't want to go for any kind of crazy counter angles. They're just playing on site and playing it safe. And Bales could be the make or break factor here depending on how this utility goes.
I do like the decision making from the Goyo though, figuring that, hey, I've already wasted a minute and a half, so I can play my life. I don't want my team to be in a disadvantage early in, just in case I do lose that fight. GXT does get the opening pick though onto Joe. Down goes your ace, but there's a refrag from Bales, the Frost that we had hyped up. She'll fall to the floor, though her utility already very much used. Boji's gonna fall right into it. We got a perfect view of that. Down goes your Zofia, and they're gonna have to make the time commitment to pick her up. Red rotating over, but he won't be recovered. That's the C4 through the stage hatch, I believe, from Dunkey to finish her off. Nearly a nice angle from Box, finding that player. He also knows that there's someone behind the weight rack. This position from Jaeger is huge. He can lock off the master doorway, but Box wins that fight. Junior now dead. We're back to an even 3v3, and look at the position from the defenders. They're all locked off towards the northwest side of the building.
Does Red know?
Callie does get the kill, and there's the second Frost mat. The Frost paying massive dividends. Bales gets a free frag. There's no one under that master window. No Frost trap, but it's still a 1 versus 2. GXT just around the corner. He wins one fight. He needs to find the second. GXT can't win it. He's only 1 HP, but Bales clutches it up. He keeps Nemesis alive. That should have been a no plants round through and through. But Bales clutches up. GXD and Tunky falter. And we're yet again tied.
Holy, we are in for the long haul yet again. What a beautiful round coming out. The Frost should have been enough. It found 2 different bodies with 2 different traps, but it wasn't enough, it seems.
I cannot believe that they didn't win that round. That was insane. They got the opening pick. They dropped 2 players in Frost mats and killed them. And then Bales walks in as Capitao and wins it.
Beautiful work.
I just can't believe he won that. Not only does he get the first kill in the 1v3, but GXD, and I believe it was it Blanky or Dunkey? It was Dunkey. GXD and Dunkey, they don't play for a crossfire. Like, when Dunkey took that fight, or when Bales took that fight with Dunkey, why did GXD back off? At that point, he's 1 HP. Like, the Capitao is going to have to adjust his aim. I mean, that's the perfect opportunity to do it. I mean, he was 1 HP swinging gold anyway. GXD should have won that fight. He's got the freaking SMG-11. It's one of the fastest firing guns in the game against a player who would be killed by 1 bullet. And Bales he just wins it. I don't know how, but he does. No plants, just unable to take that 3 in a row.
An utter discombobulation, man. Just holy. And I feel like now this reset is going to be really devastating for both teams. Devastating, especially for Junior, who tried to rush in again. Double C4 comes through, finds a double from it. Bales finds another inch of life out of that. Beautiful work. And now if you're no plans, you're down 2 very crucial bodies. You're down to your core skeleton crew again of a hard, soft, and a fire breach. And that's really all you have left. Crow, there's 2 minutes left. Diffuser, only a few inches away from Callie, but still not in the hands of anybody. Whatever plans they may have had have probably fallen short. It comes down to everyone staying alive now, taking these gunfights, trading off each other's lives if need be, but there's no concise way of pushing this.
I'll be able to open Moto Hatch at least. That's 1 now open.
17 and 11.
That's
very
pretty
true.
Nuts. I don't know why we're showing the scoreboard when we have the extended UI anyway.
Well, I just need to see it twice.
Okay. I guess so. At least they've got a minute 15, right?
They have time.
They've got the
only thing they have on their side right now.
They've got a decent amount of time to play with. Red X has already fallen off of generator. And it looks like Donkey is just going to try and make his way down blue. I think they think he's still there.
They have to. Toxic
Red
Babes
is
go
going to
out.
try and swing out.
Firebolt's already expelled. A complete pinch coming out from both sides of No Plants. No one's able to trade each other out by any stretch of the imagination, and they're going to have to pretty soon because Donkey's already falling. Callie now having to push up a 2v5. Could be a flawless win in this far in overtime between Nemesis, but they have to find at least one kill. Never mind, it's now a 5v1. Joey finding Callie. It's going to be up to Blanky. Now left alive, but the diffuser falls on Moto, and a flawless one comes out from Nemesis. They might be able to take this all the way back.
Off of a massive two-piece opener from Bales, taking out Junior and GXD. No Plants looked lost. They opened Moto hatch. They tried to make a blue push happen, but there were just so many crossfires set up from Nemesis. Nobody was playing over-aggressive or over-peaking. They were playing extremely reserved, so hats off to Nemesis for that. No Plants, again, now in the disadvantage. They'll have to win 3 in a row if they want to end the map right there, and they're going to go back to Jim. No longer with the Frost. The Frost, though, I mean, the Frost was extremely successful.
It wasn't the issue. The issue
just
was
threw.
the double kill at the 2v1 at the end.
I guess it's now, but now that Nemesis, like, now that the Frost has already been played, and Nemesis are probably going to be ready for it, because the Frost is kind of like a, ha, gotcha kind of pick.
And there's no really other defensive operator that can give such a surprise factor like Frost, right? Like, you could bring out the alibi, and that's just like, oh, I've been detected.
Yeah. I feel like
you got me.
The worst thing for No Plants is not only have they lost that round, but now they lose the element of surprise with that Frost. That was like, that Frost was the round winner, and they let it go to waste, and now they probably can't use it again.
Yeah, that was the ace in the hole. That was the hyper beam that they needed.
Hyper beam.
But now, No Plants, they have a huge problem on their hands. You said it yourself, 3 rounds in a row now, they lost the surprise factor of the Frost. They pretty much have to default with their usual defensive operators. The only benefit I would say they have over the Frost comp they had before is that they have 3 Nitros on their side. But those Nitro cells haven't really been that impactful on No Plant's defense up until now. Bales made something huge work last round. That must be what they're trying to go after. They're trying to bank off of that yet again. But Bale's already taking half of that damage. Needs to play it safe with that Capital now. Having those important firebolts needs to stay alive a little bit longer here. A 5v5, 2.5 minutes left on the clock here. You can see some aggression going through. He's already at half health. Different schools of thought. Either you can play conservatively, or he can just rush in and try to find one before he inevitably falls. But Junior, Crow, he's essentially trapped inside CCTV in cash.
Not many options for Junior. He's just going to run out construction. Thankfully, the barricade is closed, so be able to escape. I think if Bales reaches 20, is that our first 20 bomb of SCS?
I think
Season
so.
5? Because, right, the closest we've had so far is Gavin Lava Griffiths reaching 19.
That's huge.
That is a massive C4, and no! The C4 that dropped Box was while Box was in the midst of cooking a nade to deal with the Goyo shield. So he drops the nade, Joe rushes in, and the nade is at his feet.
And
he goes down.
Of errors. Crow, I would love to hear what the comms were like during that. That I've never seen that happen. Yeah, of course the diffuser's now going to be picked up, and
that might have won the round for No Plants.
Yeah.
I can't believe
you
it just
lose
happened.
both hard breachers from that. Both.
They haven't opened Jacuzzi at all. At least I don't think.
I don't think they have, but they do have Logi open a little bit, and that's not the best thing in the world, but at least it's something, right? It's a little bit more control in their favor. They do have the mute on the other side of the corner. That is going to be a huge problem, but if they're able to play off each other, have that 2v1 against GXD, that could work in their benefit, and they have Logi control. Boji pushing forwards now. Might be able to find it. Oh, around the corner, the shotgun's gonna work. He does what he couldn't before. He gets traded out, sure. But Nemesis are already down to a 2v3. Half damage at best. No one's at full health anymore. Separated completely. If anyone collapses now and finds red, the game again We're going back into the favor of a tie. A 9-9 tie, no less. We might very well see double digits here, Crow. With 27 seconds left, Red makes a 2v2, evens it out a little bit more. But look at this. The control still mostly in Plant's favor. On the other side, Bales trying to find that pinch. It's a long distance one, able to bring out the firebolts inside bathrooms. One's gonna be hiding there inside the showers with the timers running out. They have so little time to make this work. The Red's gonna push on in almost by themselves. There is some cover coming out from Bales, but they have to find the rotates in time. Donkey has to think right now, where is this plant gonna go down?
Oh, Donkey!
Able to find one, but what about the other? 0 seconds left, and that's gonna go back to no plants. We are going to 10 on one scoreline or another.
Now tied up 9-9. We will have a minimum of 21 rounds.
Is this the longest
Round
game in season
19. Give it up for round 19.
Is this the longest game in season 5?
Dude, it might be so far. All 5 of Nemesis' players
It
now
is. We
on
got confirmation.
now on double digits.
It's the Kagan Crow curse.
Man. Well, back to a tie game. CCTV room and cash is going to be where Nemesis make their potentially penultimate stand.
I mean, at this point, just don't go gym and bedroom.
Yeah, that hadn't really worked for
Either
people.
team.
Well, it worked for No Plants first time. Just, hasn't worked since. Anyway, I've stopped taking notes.
I have to.
I'm gonna sit back and relax and enjoy the game
like an iced tea.
without having to look at my notes. Dude, I have a Coke.
Oh.
I have a large cherry vanilla Coke.
I had a guava drink earlier, but I ran
Dude,
out.
guava drinks. Guava
Those are
drinks
so
are dope.
good.
They're so good.
I had a burrito today. Oh man, I wish I had that burrito back.
10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds left.
There was one tiny drip of guava left.
Officers are moving out to locate a
Okay. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did. All right. You know what I really want to see from this round? I want to see a competent rafters clear. Please, no plants. Show me you know how to clear rafters, because so far it sucked. I'm just gonna, you know what? It's round 19. I don't care anymore. I'm just letting it out. Your rafters clear sucked so far. It has sucked every round.
We've
Please
seen
do
one.
something. Please do better.
I think it was the first time we saw Nemesis on CCTV defense. They had a successful Raptors clear from no plants. Ever since then, nah, Red's been chilling. Oh, that's a good
Wait,
sign.
how is he?
Hello?
He was just in. He just
keeps
walked
on
into
going.
cash.
You take Raptors, sure, but
Hello,
what about the rest
operator.
of the site? It's almost completely in the control of no plants. They were able to trade it out a little bit more, but Junior has been a crazy person.
I
when
can't
it comes
believe,
to that.
dude. I can't believe Junior just walked into cash and killed Smoke. Like, what?
He's been a loose cannon with that, but
What?
only now in overtime has that been successful, right? He tried doing that like the very first round of Church, where Nemesis was on the
Wow,
defense. and it
Bales
didn't
just got
work.
away with
But
that.
This has devolved a strategy. This is just raw gunfights now.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got to do the bit from... Hello, operator. I'd like to report a certified Junior moment. Only people who watch RSA will get that one. Box, now very low HP. They know he's an R90, and I think that C4 just got shot midair. Bales will even trade. He takes out Blanky, but Donkey's there for the refrag. We're yet again an even man count. 2-2. Nemesis just trailing a little bit in the health department. Now they know Rafters is completely clear. GXD makes his way up. We'll be situated inside of Rafters. See if Donkey decides to join him or if he goes to Platwall. Yep. Looks like it's going to be Platwall for the Zofia. Ready and waiting to cut off anyone moving through server. But this is important. Boji has just placed a pre-placed C4 on the default plant spot. GXD starts to run in, but it looks like he wants to get the plant down on breach. The C4 misses. Donkey goes down thanks to a crossfire from Box, though. It's just GXD. He spots the Valkyrie over by Green Box, but he can't land the shot. He'll peek over towards Red, but the Melusi has already rotated away. She's behind the corner, so she's not exposed to GXD. Comes the peek from the Ace. The Valkyrie again is protected. They know exactly where he is. Great headshot. Box goes down. 1 versus 1. 24 seconds trying to wallbang this Melusi, but he doesn't know exactly where she is. He's just going to melee that Banshee, but now Malusi aware that he's behind the default plant spot. GXD is going to go for it. He's going to try and bait this out. 2 seconds left on the plant. Will the Malusi let it happen? OG starts to move through, but it's just a bait. GXD gets off. He's now has to find this kill. Only 5 seconds left. The Malusi playing this perfectly. She gets tagged through the wall. She's trying to run away. Only 1 second left, but she peeks! GXD gets the kill! No plants take round number 19, and they'll take the advantage.
GXD reformed so much better from
That
what happened when they
is
were on the defense.
The second time we have seen no time on the clock, and the last player tries to run away and just fails. And now, ladies and gentlemen, round 20. Give it up for round 20.
Woo-wee.
Woo!
past my bedtime,
I
too.
need a bell.
Like a cowbell?
Yeah. I don't know if I have one. Wait. Hold on.
You
I
are
might
the
have
kind of person to just have a cowbell laying around.
I have a drum set, so I have a drumstick. I'm trying to think if I can like hit something with my drumstick.
Do you have like an empty like water bottle, like a metal one?
I don't have a metal one. Wait, how does this sound?
I can't even hear it. It'll get the job done.
Oh wait, I have a glass one. It's not really bell sounding though.
No.
I need a bell so I can do the. Well, I mean, it won't matter if no plants win this round though.
True.
But they've got to do it on the defense. We have had so many attacking rounds in OT. I haven't been keeping notes anymore because I'm just too lazy. But the majority of the rounds in OT have been won on the attack. That I'm sure of.
You know what's weird?
GXD redeemed himself. Holy.
In TAC FPS games, right? I don't know why, but normally if you see like a really defender-sided game and it goes to OT, suddenly the script will flip and it becomes all attacker-sided.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what game it is.
This map was attacker side, and we've continued it into OT.
Well, remember what we said? It's Clubhouse. This shows the fundamentals, and we've come 9 and 10. Yeah, it could be a 3-3 split. Sure, maybe it's 4-2. And then suddenly, now we're debating whether or not it's going to go this high of a scoreline.
Bomb
All right.
located by attacker.
I got my pink drumstick with a nylon tip, so we'll see if that works after this round.
Okay.
If Nemesis win, of course. That is
course.
the big asterisk. Nemesis now need to take this round. No plants are in the advantage. It's like basically infinite OT is deuce in tennis. That's basically what it is. You got to take the advantage, and then you have to get another point to win. Bales is
There's
already
love.
okay. Bales just already pushed down Oil Pit solo as Capitao.
There are so
I'm
many
not gonna
solo
lie.
pushes going on right now.
Dude.
There's one in dirt. There's one in main. That one was in blue,
Dude.
and that failed.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what Bale's plan was there. Maybe he was planning for that crossfire that Box is holding, but Callie just got a free pick and made off like a bandit. Bales is at, I just noticed, Bales is at 20 kills, though. So congratulations, Bales. You have the first 20 bomb of SCS Season 5, but here comes the drop to the kitchen hatch. I don't know how Joe just won that fight, but he did. Jaeger on the floor, finished off by Joe, but Blanky gets a gas kill on the Boji. Callie finds one, and now Joe in the side is dead. It's a 1v3. This could be all over.
Triple kill.
It's just Red. He has to clutch up. There's one player above him. They have marks. Vigil will start to back up. Red can hear it. He has to take this fight. But Donkey will wisely fall off. Good decision-making from Donkey, knowing that if he just plays his life, it'll waste time. And it's something that will always be in the back of Red's mind. He can come down later for a flank. He trusts his anchors. Callie behind AK will hear the drop. The Ash now inside the bomb site. She's fishing for this kill. She'll have to peek over box one. She's holding the rotate over towards Church as well. It's currently where Blanky's playing. Looks like they have the ping onto the Malusi, but she looks away. Callie swings out, and finally, on round number 20, same number of rounds as Bales has kills, but unfortunately for Bales, his team is not the victor. It is No Plants taking the 11-9 win, and a big 2-0 for them.
Holy, No Plants have been Is it safe to say that they've been the underdogs of the season so far? I mean, going into this, I don't know what people's expectations were, but so far they've blown mine out of the water every single time.
That was an incredible game. I'm really sad I don't get to use my
Your bell?
I get to use the bell.
I mean, how
Or
much is like a
chip
cowbell?
bell.
Like
Dude,
online?
I don't know, like $10 probably.
You can probably just
A
order one.
really good one could probably be like 20 or 30.
You can probably just order one for the next time there's a long game.
Oh, maybe. It is a good bit.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle Cherish always loves to do that bit.
Of a cowbell?
Yeah, because it's from SpongeBob.
No, yeah.
Yeah, he loves to do that bit. To give it up for round 19.
Oh man, I don't have any bits.
You don't need bits.
That's true.
You're
That's
you
you
are
guys.
you are the Max Kegleneck Tompkins.
Oh, that's a bit in of itself.
Yeah. Well, the bit is we call you Kegleneck.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
I have a long neck.
Clubhouse, being the game of fundamentals, it looked like both teams were pretty dead even for most of this game.
Really? What makes you say that? Is it the 9 to 11
I think it
scoreline?
might be the 20-round map in Infinite OT. Now the longest game in SCS Season 5. Bales now leading the most kills in one map in SCS Season 5. Unfortunately, beating out our good friend Gavin Lava Griffiths. He'll have to settle for second place, tied with, I think, Callie. Callie ended up dropping 19 on Clubhouse. So, I mean, we saw highlight performances from literally everybody in the lobby at some point.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I mean, Bales, right? This was the same exact match. It feels like a million years ago where we saw the super curveball coming on by inside of Moto.
That was really funny.
I mean, there's been a lot of great shenanigans too. Remember, the C4 came out from Cali on Lip and server, and it took down both hard reachers, but from a Marty Dom too. I just cannot believe that.
With the nade when he dropped the nade. So, by the way, this was the drumstick. It's pink. This was actually my very first drumstick.
That does not look like a drumstick.
What?
You know when you go to like penny candy stores and they have like those bubblegum cigars? That's what it looks like.
It looks like I just hit my mic. It looks like a bubblegum cigar.
Yeah.
I can't twirl my stick as well as I used to. I haven't played in a while. Anyway, we have stats ready already. Thanks, Ferme. I can't believe they did that quick for a 20-round game. Incredible work from our statisticians. Look at these ratings.
Holy.
1.27 from Bales. 1.1 from Joe. Callie really stepping up from last map. He didn't have a great last map. This map, he just was on a tear. 19 kills for him. 20 for Bales. The costs pretty even across both teams. It's just, again, these teams were deadlocked. But at the end of the day, no plants. Just had one player doing marginally better than another on Nemesis. And that just brings the team together a little bit more.
I'm wondering what the stats would have looked like if we didn't go to overtime.
Junior's -4 on entry.
That's unfortunate.
Another
I'm wondering
certified junior moment.
What would have the stats looked like had we not gone to overtime? Because I feel like everything evened out once we hit that 12-point mark.
Hey, Ferme, can we do that? Can we pretend OT never happened and then show the stats?
Ferme's gonna kill you.
Can you get Grave on that? Or just wipe out half of the data on the Google sheet and then just Control-Z it to bring it back later? I don't know if we can. I doubt we can.
Just trying to Thanos snap all the data.
Yeah,
I mean, regardless though, the stats, what they are, look at the cost all across the board. It's so good.
Yeah. The costs, 60, 60, 55, 60, 55. All around the board from Nemesis really even. Although you have some clear leaders on no plants in the form of Callie, GXD, and Dunkey. Junior and Blanky kind of lagging behind a little bit. The entry game, though, from no plants, much better. They are in total 4, 5, 6, 2, 4. +4. Nemesis are -4. +4 and -4.
Oh, we do have an interview as well coming up. We have Blanky.
I forgot we do interviews.
Yeah, I mean, this late, I kind of forgot as well. But hi, Blanky. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Tired.
That was a barn burner, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty tired right now. But
We'll make it short.
I'm sure as
Okay.
well. So, Blanky, now,
yeah.
I hope you don't take any offense to this because I'm not trying to seem like I'm egoing
No,
you,
you're.
but
Go ahead. Shoot.
where did you and Donkey come from?
I don't know. I guess me and Dunkey just kind of came from the ranked streets. You know, I don't know. We just
Okay.
kind of played ranked a lot together, and then just have always kind of been on the same teams relatively, and then just ended up working out, I guess, this time. So.
Junior and Impasta.
Mhm. I'm sorry, it's a little
Impasta, and I
laggy.
was like, oh, I was saying, you know, when the beginning of your team's lifespan, when it was you and Donkey, and then Impasta, GXD, and Junior.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at that roster and I was like, oh, I know these guys, but we're Donkey. I don't think I've ever seen them play before. I haven't casted them, and I think it's safe to say, I mean, you guys have certainly impressed. I mean, especially you going 10-8 on Villa, dunking heaters both maps. I mean, it's not your responsibility. You're the support, but you still really did really well on Villa. Are you guys going for CL quals by any chance?
Yeah, me and Dunkey have done like the past like 2, I think, CL quals, but they've mainly been kind of like pug sack teams of just like friends, really. But yeah, so this is kind of like our first actual team that's like actually going for leagues and like stuff like that. So I feel I feel pretty confident with this group. A lot of improvement needs to be made, of course, but like I think we're on the right track.
Yeah, but I mean that's the case with every fairly new roster. I mean, is it accurate to say you guys all came together pretty recently?
Yeah, I'd say pretty recently. We kind of like came together for the SCS Open quals, and then you know the thing with Impasta happened, and then we ended up just having to kind of play with subs in the quals. It ended up working. We made it, obviously, and then yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys are definitely one of the better new teams. I think a lot of people are in agreement that you and I know I've talked to a lot of people. It seems like you guys and Gasher's team are kind of slated to be up in at least the top 5 for CL quals. So I think you guys definitely look really good going into it. So first off, for Villa, I mean, what was going on with the attacks for both teams? It just seemed like for both sides there was just not a lot of info gathering going on.
Yeah, our main thing that we kind of struggled with that attack was once they brought the Cade, man. Like we kept trying to do that steady push, and once they brought the Cade, it was tough for us to get it off that wall, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think I think with more practice and more like preparation with dealing with that situation, we'll get it done. But I mean, we made do with what we had, so did our best.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's probably just like a synergy thing you guys still got to work out?
Yeah, I would say that. I'd say that like we have kind of like the basic issues I feel like that new teams have, which are very easily fixable with like repetition and playing together, I think. So
yeah,
I think we should be good with a little bit more time.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the most of Villa was pretty straightforward, and then we move on to map 2. Move on to Clubhouse. There were
a big beast.
There was a lot of stuff to unpack from both sides. So first off, something I want to touch on is your rafters takes. What was the biggest problem for you guys going to your rafters? So it looked like every time you guys tried to take cash, Red X was just pounding you down.
Yeah, like I said, it's like I think it's a basic util issue. I mean, like comm wise and stuff. Like, gotta get that timing down and talk to each other like what needs to go where and stuff. We were kind of just trying to get that guy out of there, and we weren't really holding the the right angles and stuff. So.
Yeah, because it seemed like some rounds you guys would really struggle with that, and then other rounds like a lot of your basement pushes, like taking full advantage of that Kappa Tower, you're taking into blue and having that main split. It looked like you guys had really, really good coordination on those. So I think you guys are definitely making really good progress with it. And then, I mean, moving into what was potentially the last round on the last gym attack. So you had a skin on.
Yeah, man.
On the Aruni.
So we didn't really practice with an Aruni, but Tyson's sitting there and he's like, "Hey, let's bring Aruni, bro. I mean, like, let's do it, man. Like, let's surprise him or whatever." So I was like, "Okay, let's do it." So I 6-picked to Aruni, man. I thought that was her normal uniform, gonna be honest, like the red.
That's what I
But
said.
Yeah, Max
That's what I
forgot
thought.
it was the.
I mean, it looks better than the other one, but like, yeah, I guess I
That's
had that
true.
on. So I was really mad at myself because I thought like, man, I just costed this whole game like for a Rooney skin.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and then
yeah,
you know what else? You know what else was a big coster? I mean, I think you were the one playing the Frost. I mean, you guys
no.
yeah,
had
yeah.
2 mats. You guys had the opening pick and 2 mats that turned
They
into
got in
kills.
2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got the
Oh, wow.
guy.
Logistics and
Yep. The Logi rotate
Khan-
and
yeah.
GXC
Khan.
finished them off, and then Khan and I think Donkey threw a C4 through like stage hatch or something to
Right.
kill him.
Yeah.
So you guys
okay.
had 2 free
Yeah.
picks on the Frost mat and the opening pick. And I mean, just what were the comms like going to the latter half of that round when Bales clutched up?
Okay, when Bales clutched up, I said some choice words to Tyson and Dunkey, and then Dunkey was just like, "What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?" And that was basically it. And then the next round, I was like, "All right, whatever. It's in the past. Like, let's focus on this round." So
Yeah.
and I was like, "I'm gonna bring Frost." So.
Are you the one that usually IGLs?
I wouldn't say that. I'd say we kind of all, like make a call on kind of what we want to do. And then if I think it's stupid, I'll be like, no, Junior, like that's so stupid. Like, no, we're not doing
Yeah,
that.
I noticed how
Like,
you.
let's
I noticed
do
how you
this.
throw Junior. I know how you throw Junior's name in there as the example.
Yeah, we love Junior. We love Junior.
We do too. He just we coined a phrase. I know back from the RSA days and moving into SCS, we have certified Junior moments where he will just
Yeah,
he'll do something.
Yeah, our first game I think is the first time I heard that term, so I'm aware now of what it means. But
Yeah.
yeah, he has some moments. Hey, he has some great moments though. Junior will
did.
go in there and kill 3 people, but at times I'm like, man, what is he thinking? Like,
Yeah,
sure.
like there's a lot of times where he'll be
Push
holding an
name.
angle, and it's like we're getting down to like 15 seconds, and then he'll just peek, and then die.
oh yeah, he
It's
goes
like,
in.
all right,
He goes in, baby. He
Cool,
feels like the
Junior.
Terminator. He thinks he's the
Yeah.
Terminator sometimes. I gotta kind of rope him back a little bit sometimes. You know, I'm like, man, slow down,
And I mean,
Junior.
and then going after GXD and Donkey's unfortunate throw, and then moving on to GXD's clutch. I mean, redeeming himself. I mean, how did you guys feel
Hey.
after that one?
I was astonished. I was
So-
amazed.
so were
I was
we.
astonished. It was incredible. It was the best clutch I've ever seen in my life, I would say. So I was
yeah.
pretty. I was like, hey, let's keep this momentum. If we're doing that, let's go. Let's keep it going. You know. What I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean that was 000. Like I think that was 000 on the clock when he killed that Malusi. That was
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
He almost gave me a heart attack for sure. I saw the Malusi's back and I was like, what is this guy doing? And I was like, no way Junior does or Tyson doesn't kill him, but he did. So
Yeah,
ended up
so that
working
was definitely impressive, and of course you guys finally went on to win the map. So, I mean, Max, are there any questions you have?
I mean, I think the big question, I'm gonna only leave you with one just because, it's so late. You have done such a great job, but how, as a newer team, how do you guys find that synergy, that momentum to go for hours on end? That was almost a 3-hour matchup?
Man, I
Were
didn't
there
even
times where you
realize
thought it
that.
was gonna break down?
No, I think the group that we have, I think we all kind of vibe together. So honestly, to me at least, it didn't really seem that long. I didn't think it was 3 hours, but I think we all kind of gel together a little bit and kind of vibe. So, we can get through it. I think, we kind of have a strong mental fortitude like that. We might yell and like talk shit to each other and stuff, but like, I don't know. I just think we all got pretty good mentals, so I think that's good.
I mean,
Fair enough.
that's definitely good. Like chemistry is kind of like the biggest thing as the biggest step towards synergy. So I mean, is there anyone you guys finally are able to take a pretty decisive 2-0, put yourself higher on the leaderboard? Is there anything you want to say to everyone in Twitch chat?
Thank you guys for coming out. I hope we entertained you. That was planned. We
That was-
wanted the game
Oh,
to
yeah.
last a while. We
Yeah.
wanted you guys to watch us. So
I see.
we're
was
new
also-
to getting streamed, so we wanted you guys to watch us for a while. So yeah,
I see.
I appreciate everybody, and thank you.
That was certainly an entertaining game. I'm glad to know that you guys know your weaknesses, you're working on it, and you guys already seem like a pretty
also-
damn good team. So.
Also, don't want to interrupt you, but we haven't scrimmed
What's
in
up?
4 days. All right, just gonna lay that out there. throwing it on the table. We haven't scrimmed in 4
This was
days.
your
Okay,
scrim.
I was gone. I was in California, so I'm back.
I
This was
see.
literally my first day playing. So that 8 and 17 that you saw, like a couple
Yeah.
minutes, don't worry about it. Okay, don't
All
even worry
right.
about
Well,
it.
I'll expect
right.
double digits from you going into the next week then. Blanky,
Yeah, I
it's
got
a pleasure.
You. I got you.
It was a
Yes,
pleasure
sir.
finally getting in to talk to you. Welcome to the league, and
Yes, sir.
maybe I'll see you in CL. But until next time, have a very good night.
Thank you. You too. I really appreciate it, guys.
No problem.
Wow. I mean, what
It's
a
over.
series, right? Yeah, it is over. I mean,
not
it
done, though.
feels. Mhm.
We're not done.
Oh,
Remember, we still have game stats.
yes.
Across the 2 maps, we can see how everyone's shaped up. Look at that. Bales leading the pack on his team with a 1.1, but look at Dunkey and GXD. Standout performers for No Plants. And I mean, how many times were we screaming their names? Especially Dunkey. Tying Bales for highest kills in the lobby. Bales, Red, GXD, Dunkey, and Cali all having above a 1.0 rating. And I mean, even the rest that are sub 1.0, they're still not far behind. This was a fairly even game across all 10 players.
And every single player, especially in Clubhouse, really had a standout performance, at least for one round. Like,
Yeah.
there were no slackers in this lobby at all. Even, despite all the things that went wrong on the attacks on Villa, all things considered between the two teams, everyone still performed pretty well within their measures between the two on Villa.
Yeah, I really like seeing games where, like, we get to scream everyone's name at least once. It kind of helps build hype and stuff like that. 4 plants I'm surprised Nemesis had so many plants. It seems like No Plants were not living up to their name, unfortunately. Or wait, do you think they're named No Plants? Does that mean they're not going to allow the other team to plant, or they're going to win rounds without planting themselves?
See, going into this, I was thinking that they just wouldn't plant at all.
I see. Wait, what'd you say, Ferme?
Oh, GXD doesn't plant like ever. I
even
guess.
though he's hard breach. I see. I mean, he didn't. Blanky planted twice. See, there you go. Even though he was negative, he's the only one on his team with plants. An objective, that's basically 5 kills a plant. So, Blanky was the kill leader.
He got those doubles.
Congratulations, Blanky. You now hold the kill record for SCS. But now we're done. Now we can wrap up.
Holy, that's right. And we have more amazing games coming up too. But Crow, what games should we expect to see from SCS going forwards?
I don't remember. No, I'm just kidding. Tomorrow is Gatekeepers versus Wichita Wolves up first. That's going to be at 6 p.m. EST. And our week 3 will be rounded out right after that by Project Neo versus Aggro. That should be a very interesting game. Pretty much like 2 complete opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of playstyle. Project Neo, very structured, very strategic, sometimes even a little bit too slow, whereas Aggro are, I mean, exactly as their name implies, they are extremely aggressive. So I'll be really excited to see how that one plays out. And that's tomorrow at 6 p.m. I think you'll be doing the first game, right?
No, I have filming I have to do for school. I know. I was so sad.
Man. I don't know who's doing the first game then. I know I'm doing the second game with Jazz. Oh, all right. Jays, Wills, and CDAPs are doing the first game. I'm doing the second game with Jazzman. So thank you all for tuning in. We all love you. We love the teams. We love the players. We appreciate the support. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for sticking with us through a 20-round club. Like, it couldn't have been Coast. It couldn't have been Theme. It had to be a 20-round club. But anyway, we're done. See you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night.
A triple kill, but Soda Finn, he'll deny the plant. He sees 2 more kills. Oh my god! Soda Finn will find more!
Where's Miracle? He's trying to come upstairs, but Crafty will get the ace. He'll get the plant. He'll do it all.
Device misses shots. He's gonna have to go for the front.
Oh,
He pushes
Dylan!
on through. Dylan is better.
Round 2, and there's another as Tyrant is finished off, and they all line up for Bone.